Go ahead and start recording so that we can get this recording going. Yeah, that's all right. This is cool. For all you guys on here, how many of you guys have the Theme2HTML? Real quick, just say me. Just kind of curious, trying to figure out who's here. How many guys have Theme2HTML? And then separately from that, how many guys have MOWG, which would be the next question I asked. I'm just trying to figure it out so I kind of get an idea what you guys do or don't know. Because it's neat what I discovered last night. I was playing around trying to just kind of sat down finally, took a break from the programming end on Theme2HTML and said, okay, what's an easy way to work with this and MOWG? It's like, how easy can it be? And it occurred to me it's going to be extremely easy. As a matter of fact, this is cool because it's starting to look like, as a matter of fact, it is going to be the next generation of the whole UAP concept that we have. And by that, I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Yeah, okay, I see. Yeah, you guys are answering. That's cool. And then, like, how many have MOWG? Some people are saying T2H, yes. MOWG, yes. Yes. Some people are saying got them both. That's cool. All right, because this is neat. And yeah, it's a good mantra. Tom is cool. Yeah, want it, need it, have MOWG. Want it, need it, have MOWG. That's cool. All right, let me see. All right, next generation UAP. And what I mean is this. I'm going to step back and say this. What are the pros and cons of the UAP runs? And what are the pros and cons of custom MOWG runs? And what does that mean about now? And so let me start it. The UAP, as you all know, the UAP runs have its pros and cons, right? That's the whole T2H concept we put out, right? And those of you who've been around a while, you know that that's just been something that's been developed and redeveloped and updated and developed into something new for years. It started off as a placeholder website, and we had, what do we call it, the V1, the V2, the V3. And they were the original, just for backlinks purely, and then finally we came out with something that was a generic catch-all pitch for everything and everyone. And then we did some more automation tricks to it, and out emerged finally the whole T2H concept when we developed form power into the MOWG Pro so we could create forms for exactly the field you want. Now that was great, and we just got very far with these things. But the pros of the UAP was that we took all of the thought away. You didn't have to think about the template. You didn't have to think about the content. You just had very few fields to fill in, so to speak. Once you got over the all thumbs feeling of the T2H, once you got comfortable with it, it was really, really cut and dried easy to do those runs. And those were the pros. What are the cons? The cons were it's a catch-all marketing message. It basically says, if you're looking for this, we're the best company. And that's it. That was the only way it could be said in order to work for everything, right? It was the only way we could think of to make one pitch work for everything. But that's not the best pitch for a lot of things. If you want to say, get a what do you say, a payday loan, you don't say it that way. You don't say, if you're looking for a payday loan, we're the best company. You're not going to get any conversion off of that, even if you rank #1 for payday loan. No one will click it. Why? Because the #2 guy's saying, get approved privately in 5 minutes, up to $12,000, or something. And that guy's getting clicked on, not you, him, or her, whoever it is, right? But we couldn't say that in the UAP because it had to be generic and work for everything. Okay, that was the con. So the pro, again, just to summarize, the pro of the UAP was always what? Extremely easy. You didn't have a lot to do. You didn't have to think about coding. You didn't have to think about too many things. You just kind of filled in the blanks and hit go. The con was that it was really generic. And so you couldn't choose what you wanted to promote. You couldn't say, I want to make that thing make me money with the UAP. It was always a guess. It was a gamble. It was like, if you put it out, it might work or it might not. But how did you use the UAP? How do you use the UAP? By intentionally putting out run after run after run about anything you can find that you think might work. Can I sell kitchen silverware and make it profitable? Let me try. Can I sell baby cribs and make them profitable? Let me try. Can I try that MLM? Let me try. Can I try this? Can I try that? And you just throw up a run for this, or run for that, or run for that, or run for that, or run for that, or run for that. Some of them work. Some of them, it is the best way for the pitch. If you're looking for this, we're the best company. Okay, and when that would happen, then bam, your pitch was great. It would rank. You'd start making money. And so what do you do with the UAP? Tack on income streams by stumbling across them accidentally as you're doing run after run for thing after thing, right? That's how it would go. And for those of you who put up one run and stopped cold, it was the one thing you wanted to promote, and then you just stopped cold and waited, you probably didn't get very far. Guys who got further, of course, were the ones who got other websites and backlinked their primaries. But even then, the question is, was the message convertible, right? That was always the con to the UAP, is it's a catch-all message, and catch-all messages don't turn people on. When they're looking at Google results and they're just going to click on anything, they're going to click on something interesting that's written interestingly. Okay, that's that. Now let's get past the UAP. What were the pros and the cons of custom MOWG runs, such as they've always been? Well, the pros of MOWG runs is you choose your template. You know, anything, any web page off the internet, HTML, WordPress, Joomla, Weebly, you name it, you can start with it. That would work. You can download that, open it up, and re-gut it. And you choose the content. You decide what to put into it, right? Either you got that content from somewhere or you just start straight writing it in. And so with the custom runs, the pro is that everything is variable. In the coding, you could code anything. You could come out with variation style sheets to try different headers and different background colors, to try different YouTube videos, to overcome any limitations about fingerprints, believe it or not, to overcome any limitations, or footprints, to overcome any limitations about how many links point to a given page. There was all this stuff. But that's the pro side. What were the con sides? The con side was pretty much obvious to everyone. It's a lot to learn, right? You had to learn coding. And if you wanted to apply a Facebook run page, you know, or I'm sorry, a Facebook link, you had to understand how to embed that code and where to put it. And if you're staring at the source code of a custom page you imported, you're not familiar with that code. You're not familiar with that page. You're not really sure where to put it, you know, and especially if you don't actually understand coding in the first place, if you don't understand that a table is a table and inside you have TR tags and inside your TR tags you have TD tags. If that sounds foreign to you, then custom runs were often over your head. You had to learn HTML, okay? What did we do lately? We realize that the biggest problem people ever have is trying to get a template that works for everything. And not just the UAP template, you know. We came out with one template. You guys all know what that looks like, right? If I were to flip to that, you guys, I mean, most people that get MOWG never do graduate past this. They stick with this template, okay, because it's easy, right? It's easy. And then some people would turn around and get the other templates that we came out with, and then they do runs like that, you know, and you'd have something more like this, okay? And so it was a different kind of an idea for a template, and that was about it, all right? And so that was, and then some guys would just create their own templates anyway, MOWG template, but the problem was you didn't know how to fit it into the 2MOWG HB. Oh, I've got the wrong link. It's templates with an S. And you'd have to deal with figuring out how to learn that. Well, what do? We took the Theme2HTML concept and we said, here's what we're going to do. We're going to come out with one template, at least for now, one template that is convertible, does work for everyone, and that's these themes up in here, right? You can see them. You know, you can go and look at one. And you guys all know this. I'm sort of rehashing. We said, here's the template, okay? And it is just written and pumped with generic content to start with, but we made it really, really easy to deal with this website the way you would WordPress, Weebly, Drupal, Joomla. You can get into the admin panel and change it all around. What does it take to get this template to look like an entirely different one? Maybe that template, okay? Right, which looks different, sort of. And then from there to this template. The answer is, and the color schemes on these are kind of the same because I just didn't change them. The answer is Very obvious, right? The answer is very little. You just put in a new logo, do a different color scheme, and put in new content, and decide what you want in your left toolbar or your left sidebar, and so on. And that's about it. You just make some decisions. So these are the same template. This is the same template as this, except for what? We did some quick little upgrades to this banner slider. We thought this was kind of okay, but we thought for teaching people how to cut images out with tools to cut images out was a bit much, especially if you want to do demo runs real fast for people and throw in images for them so that you can show them what their website could look like. So we decided to beef it up. And so we did. So these last three templates use this new slider banner feature, right? And it's you just put an image in. You don't have to do anything but resize, right? So that's easier. But we wanted them all to be the same. So now, like the UAP, you can use this one template for probably anything. Probably anything. We're doing more designs for more industries, by the way. But you can use this one template for probably anything you want. And you can make it match. And just to show you something different, I did this one for the fun of it. For somebody who was asking, this is kind of interesting. I took this place, it's a nursing and rehabilitation center, and I just showed them real fast how this can go. So I threw in their logo. Then I used a color picker, okay? For those of you that know, you could go Google color picker and download a free one so that I could figure out what this color is, okay? Once I knew the color, and it says so right down here in the second box is where I'm looking, but once I hover over it, 66042D, 66042D, okay, 66042D. Then I can go type that in for the website theme and colors for the main color of the website and match it right away, bam. Then if I want, I can use a color palette. How many of you guys have ever thought that you could go on Google and look up, let me see if I can just see it right away. I mean, there's so many different choices, it's impossible, you know. Color palettes, right? You know, for matching colors generator, inspiration, palette, color picker, and all this kind of thing. And when you go, what you do is you type in a color or put in a URL of an image like that logo, and it will understand the color, and it will tell you what a couple of different ways to go are for related colors, like dull and vibrant. That's what this website does. There's many choices. Again, if you just start with color palette, okay? Look, and so there's all these choices that say, you give us one color and we'll tell you what matches it. And so when you match it, it just looks more pleasant on the eye, right? Where was I with that thing? Okay. This is a better match for that color than if I just randomly guessed, because it actually is a match from the color palette picker. So you can just quickly pick some other colors to throw in for your website theme and colors and make the color schemes match. Now, you know what's funny? I made some changes, threw in a couple of images from the guy's website, and then just showed him. And you know what he said? Wow, that's interesting. And he followed it up with this. Is that template available? With a question mark. And I thought with a grin, hey, it is the landscaping template. It is the plumber template. It is the real estate template. I don't have to tell you that, but it is the same template as all the rest. You can take it and do what you want with it. That's the whole point. You can make it for any industry you want. You don't have to wait for us to come out with new industries. You know, it's so easy to go in and do. All right, now so far I've been explaining all that to explain where we're going next. So if you want to do two things that are cool, it's now we made kind of like a UAP template. It is a good convertible template, but this is so that you can easily construct a website. And you can do it for industry after industry after industry, you know, whichever ones, right, that you want using that particular design. But you can do it, and it'll work. It'll work for you. It'll work for anyone, for whatever you want to put out. You want to do an MLM program? Of course, guys are already doing that. They're completely revamping the color scheme and throwing up, you know, whatever it is kind of MLM program or whatever it is kind of thing that they want to sell. There are guys doing this for other industries. They're just changing them, you know, and it's because you can. You can take one of them and just start changing it. It's a piece of cake, really. Just start working on it, throw in the images you want and everything, and there you go. Okay. Having said that, Okay, so it's easy to create a better looking website than the original website where this would come from. If you were to look at this guy's original website, you would understand this, why the guy likes this, because this is incredibly cool. What's the second thing? If you were actually to sell something like that to a client, you've got a choice. You can sell them a website, and you would charge whatever you would charge to copy in their content from their website into this one, pull in their images, change things to say their things, make sure that the menu works in a way that they like, and that'll be whatever it is that you want to charge, $450, please. Might have taken you 3 hours to do, so you're making $150 an hour. Okay, and all it starts with is you do some demo stuff real fast. Just throw in a couple images, put the guy's logo in, change the color scheme real quick to match maybe, and then just take a screenshot, snag it, and just take a picture of the page and send it to the guy in an email and say, you know, I've seen your site. I think I can do a better job. Here's just a quick draft example of it. If you see, you know, if this interests you, get a hold of me. It doesn't take any time. You do that with 3-4 guys, someone's calling you back, and they really are excited, and they're really interested, and they're going to land the deal with you, and you can charge them $450 for 3 hours of work. How hard is that? Now, what's the second thing? The second thing is an upsell. An upsell could be, I'll charge you whatever, $450 to do your site, but I'll also sell you the admin panel too. Okay. Well, you don't say sell you. What you say is, I'll give you the admin panel with it for this price, and that will allow you, and I'll give you some personal assistance, you know, and that will allow you to change this, add to this, change the menu, add to the menu. Anything new you ever come out with, you can just deal with on your websites anytime you want. Okay. So that's cool. That really is interesting, and that's worth a lot. Not only that, you can even close it out. You can say something like, I'll sell you for $1,000, and I'll walk you through how to use it for the first couple hours, make sure you understand completely how to use the functions, and I'll be available if you have questions for the next, whatever, 6 months. You're not going to have trouble using it once you get over the fingers and thumbs feel of it. Okay? There's that. But then what's next? If the guy is still on the wire, you could throw in one more point. You can make other websites with the same admin panel, right? So you can make all the websites you want with the same admin panel, okay? Not just one. And what's the point of that? Just for people who understand the value of having more than one website, more than one design, more than one message, more than one approach, trying to compete on Google. So the guy's competing against himself on purpose. He's got this website of his competing with that website of his that are both selling the same thing, but with entirely different designs. And so all he has to do is buy the backend from you once, and you teach him how to do it all, and then they're free to keep going on their own. Then if they still want your custom help, you can charge them by the hour, right? Or whatever, or by the project. But you see, that's cool. Now what's even cooler? MOWG. We can also throw in as an upsell. This is a second upsell, by the way. This is the third level up. We can take any page that seems to be their pitch page, whatever they want for their pitch page on whatever run you're doing. Okay? Whatever the pitch page is going to be, the most interesting one, especially like for nationwide chains where you're going to do different city states or whatever, but you want to cover every city in the U.S. or every city in their area with all the different points, you know, but you got to start with a pitch page, okay? And you want to make thousands of variations of their best pitch page, right? And that means MOWG. Now, how easy has this gotten? I'll show you, and I'll show you the interim that goes along with this too, because this is cool. I don't know. How many of you guys have already toyed with using T2H with MOWG, and you found that there were some easy ways to pull it off, right? I don't know. Here we go. This is just a new point. I'm going to read this while you guys are answering. Yeah. T2H is true. We got friendly SEO fields, right? So like H1, H2, H3 is simple to deal with, and the page titles and the meta descriptions are simple to deal with. Okay. So you've got the content here, right? And you can use these tokens if you want, or don't use them if you don't want. Okay. You can set H1, H2, H3 just by highlighting and choosing H1, H2, H3. And it doesn't matter if it just looks all black like this, because you see, all you did in the coding was say you will be an H1 tag, which is fine. But when we go producing the pages, when we're looking at the pages, okay, that's where the website themes and colors take over and read those tags and show what the output looks like with those tags adjusted to your desired website theme and colors, right? Whatever you put in. And whatever you put in for the H1, H2, H3. We covered this stuff before, and it's in the training videos. You know you can change this stuff easily, right? You can get any color. There's a variety of fonts. You can change the size, the color, whatever, and you can do it separate for H1 and H2 and H3. And we show you how to make these things, this stuff, and how easy it is. It's really easy. Just highlight and choose H1, H2, or H3 all the way down the line, okay? And how to bold things and whatever. Okay? And that's cool. Now what? And then down here, what is the title, the page title that you want? Again, you can use tokens or just type something in, whatever you want, right? And there's your meta keywords, which most people don't even bother with anymore, but you can use them. They'll work. And here's your meta description tag, okay, for whatever you want to put in for the meta description. And again, it can have your tokens or not, all right? But what's the latest thing we did too was the spin rewriter API, okay? And this is awesome. And when I'm doing this, let me step out of here, or let me not. Okay, I want to just show you. And this is actually the point where you've got a choice whether you're going to use MOWG or not. There is one little glitch, so I got to be careful of it. For some reason, and this we're going to fix or overcome one way or the other. It's simple to deal with one way or another as soon as we make a decision which way we're going to do it. Somewhere down here, okay, I've got a company tag. I think it's the company tag is written in here. Why am I blanking on it? I think I see it. Oh wait, which paragraph was that in? Oh, top one. Let me see. I'm going for check out company. Okay, yep, there it is. There it is. There it is. Here is what the glitch is. See how I have the company token and it's surrounded by a tag, like a strong tag. I'll even put this in Notepad real quick, just so you can see, just so anyone who's far enough along already that they can start doing this stuff right away. If you get confused, right, and you're just, what the heck? Let me just make sure you understand. This causes a glitch when you use the spin rewriter API. Now that's not our fault. It's spin rewriter's fault. Okay, we found that out. Here's what it is. This combination of 4 characters, one right after the next, Control-C, Control-V. Okay, this combination right here, for whatever reason, just causes it to get a little funny, and it doesn't. What it does is it deletes the end strong from here, and it starts adding strong tags after every paragraph tag, like that, and it starts to put end strong tags just before every end paragraph tag. Don't ask me why. I have no idea why. All we know is if you get that combination because you took your token and you made it strong, okay, so it would normally look like this, or you made it italicized, so it'd be like an I maybe, or EM, okay, or you made it underline, okay, then what you're going to wind up with in every single case is this 4-character combination, that's this one, which for whatever reason is just tossing the coding off slightly in the spin rewriter API. It's an easy thing to fix if you accidentally do it, because all it's going to happen is you're going to do it and it's going to put the contents up on the page, and more of it's going to be bolded than you meant. You're going to look at it and it's like the whole paragraph will be bolded, this paragraph will be bolded, and you'll think, what the heck? And if you go through, you can just take those strong tags back out or whatever it is, and then it'll be fine. So it's not really a problem, but I'll show you what we do in the beginning, and let me try to show you from the beginning. Here's what I would do. Okay, let me just start right here. I'm going to say that my home page is the one I want to use, you know, for MOWG purposes. Okay, let me get rid of this. Okay. My home page is what I'm going to use for MOWG purposes right now. Okay, I'm going to do the run on this, and I spent all my time getting this thing the way I want. And this is what I'm going to use for my warm and fuzzy pitch, right? So this is how I can do my custom pitch, get the custom print just right. I get to say cool things that I could never say in the UAP with it being so generic. I could never say awesome guys who don't drain your wallet or who won't drain your wallet. I think this has been spun a couple times. And so I couldn't say it in the UAP, but you can say it now because you can copy paste this information in from the guy's website. That's their warm and fuzzy that you're going to do thousands of pages on. There it is. Or it's yours for your own purposes. There it is. So I'm going to make a copy of my home page that I'm going to use for MOWG purposes. And then it might be optional. I might do it now. I might do it later. I might never do it. All I know is that's the one I'm going to want. So I may as well make a copy of it. I'm going to copy the home page. Yep. And I'm going to go into that copy. That's the copy. It says index-1.html. I'm going to make it the obvious thing it should be. First, I'm going to call it MOWG so I recognize it in the list. Then I'm going to say the page URL is MOWG.html, just so I know. And I'm going to take it out of the menu so you cannot see it. Like right now, if I save it, update and reload, okay, and I go look, it's in the menu. It says home, then it says MOWG. I don't want it to say MOWG. And it even broke this up because there's too many links now at word wrapped, right? I don't want it to do that. But I want to take that out. So I'm going to knock this off. Instead of normal page with menu link, I'm going to make it a page without menu link. That means the page exists. There will be a MOWG.html page, but it will not be in the menu. Okay? So it's hidden. It's not connected to anything. Google can't find it. But for my purposes, it's awesome because it's really there. Now, you cannot see it in the menu because it's not in the menu, but I can go to it. New Theme2HTML.com. This is just where I happen to have this, /MOWG.html, right? Now, I got this MOWG page, except that actually I MOWG'd that one out. That's funny. Oh, let me refresh. I must have a caching issue. Okay, let me just do it by renaming a different thing because I got to show you what's going on. Let me call MOWG2.html. It doesn't matter. Okay. Because I want to make sure I'm not showing you something from cache. Sheesh. New combine. And we'll say MOWG2.html. I mean, you obviously don't have that page, but I just had it cached. Okay, there we go. And that's a copy of the home page, except it doesn't show all the stuff on the front page necessarily. So I can decide how I want to deal with that. I could temporarily make the home page the MOWG page, flip them back and forth, and then come back around. Google will not see it as an invisible link because it's not connected. It's literally not meant to show up. We don't want it seen. We're using this for ourselves. We're not using it for any visitors. MOWG.html is not meant to be visible to anyone. Okay, so yeah, don't worry about that. Good question though. All right, now here's the point. I've got it, okay, and I'm just calling it MOWG2.html. Now let's say I wanted the page really with all the stuff on it from up here. I don't want that stuff lost. All right, fine. Then what I'm going to do is actually do the work on that page, okay, the home page. But before I do, here, let me get rid of these. Now I get what's going on. I've got these two MOWG pages. Delete. That's what happened. One was overriding the other. All right, I'm going to take my home page, and I'm actually going to create a backup of it, okay? That way I can change it back when I'm done, all right? So there's my backup of the home page. But now my home page is free to play with. I can change all the wording on it I want, okay? And let me do this again. I must have my exterior services home. Now I've got two home pages for whatever reason. Oh, that's right, because again, it's not supposed to have a menu link. Let me take that off. Here we go. Normal page with menu link? No. Page without menu link. Update and reload. Okay. Get it right. That's just me being silly, right? Okay, here we go. Now I got a backup, so I can play with this home page because I can always take the backup and make it the new home page again, right? Copy the content back in. Watch this. Here's where things get really, really cool this way, okay? First, we got our spin rewriter API, okay? If I wanted to, I could just go into it right now, and I could just say, make a unique variation and place it in the content area, use the API, and it's going to make a version of this page, okay? Either it's doing it now or it'll do it soon. I got my caching thing. I just got to make sure I do that right. But that should be it. Oh, I know why, because I've already done this once. So it's just reading from what it saw before. I think now I'm going to force it to actually rethink it so that it'll start at the beginning and actually do the work. There we go. All right, so now I've got something else, right? And again, like I said, because of the company had the end of strong there, it made more things bolded than I really wanted it to be, right? So I got to go and take those bold tags out, or I just do it the old-fashioned way, and that would be to take it off in the first place, then do it, then put it back on, right? I mean, that makes sense, doesn't it? All right, so let me just do that. And again, I'm just showing you so you can like easily see how to control little issues as you go along, right? So let me take this index 1 I have. I can open that in a new link so I can get at it easily and open this one here, okay? And now that way I can just control all, copy, come back to the original one, control all, and paste, right? And either that worked, or if it's not doing it all because like the picture and everything, the better way to go to the source code, control all, copy, go to the other side, go to the source code, control all, paste. Get it? Update and reload. Now it's perfect again. I'm right back where I started, and I can use my spin rewriter API the way I want. Okay. So what I would do is take that tag off first from company so I don't have that problem. I just take the bolding off, you know, unbold it. And by the way, I'm doing it in the source code. I should just show you how to do it here, right? Just highlight company, the token, and unbold it, right? There, it's unbolded. That was all I had to do. I may update and reload. Okay, spin rewriter API now, and let's just do a page version here, okay? And it's going to create a new version of this page. So if this is a cool generic page with my tokens built in, and I'm just doing cut and dried work for guys real cheap because I'm using the stuff I already have, you know, you can do that. Update and reload. And, okay, I can close this now. It's updated and reload. Now I can go take a look at it. Not that one, the front page. Wow. I can just see what happened, you know. Well, a variation page. And that means it's like 99% different than the page that came before it. And again, I got to go back and fix a bolding issue from down below. But that's all right. I mean, fixing that stuff is not so hard if you have to fix it. Of course, what I do is just make sure my original page doesn't have these issues in the first place, right? Why pay greater than you should? Hold on. Yeah. And I can just drop this back to normal, okay? And then maybe I could make something the headline. So I'll make that like an H2 there. And I would say with it, whatever I want to say, why pay more than you should? I'll just go ahead and do that so it reads better. Or more than you need to, you know, whatever you want. And then here I see where it's bolded and shouldn't be, so I'll just take the bolding off. Again, what's the point? If you get coding errors, it's easy to fix this, right? That's what's cool and new and neat, okay? It's easy. Now, question is, how do you go further? Right now I just showed you how to create a completely unique page that by now looks right, okay? And I can do our, oh yeah, $60 customer discount. What do I do? Make that like an H4 tag, I think. I created like an H4 tag to look really cool, right? I think that was the H4 tag. Whoops. And if it doesn't get it right, I'll create the artificial line breaks, do it, and then bring it back just for the fun of it. Okay. H4. All right. Then I can bring it back. Oh, well, I'll deal with it later because I really want to get on to the point. Okay, that's just me being funny. Let me get on to the point because all this still doesn't touch MOWG, right? Like, what are we going to do with MOWG now anyway? All right, let's just say I did all this stuff I want to do with the page, and I did get it the way I want to get, right? Let's say I did. And by the way, I could just do it in source code, and it would be easy enough because I can just reach it, right? I can just put it in. So if you understand how to do it, you can just go H4 at the beginning, right? And then at the end, do an end H4, right? WYSIWYG editors. Update and reload. Now let's see if that's the one I wanted. Yeah. And, oh, that's why I couldn't make it an H4. It has to be in a new paragraph if I did it that way. Okay. Whatever. Maybe I'll just bold it and use a different color. I think that's what I did after all because I had it in the paragraph. I just caught onto it. All right, so like I bolded it. I probably made it like dark brown or something, and then maybe I could have even highlighted it at yellow to make it cool, and then I say there it is, right? Update and reload. Okay, that worked. Why didn't I just do that? That's easier. There we go. All right, fine. Whatever. The point is now how do we MOWG? How easy is it to just take this page we created with the content that sells, on the template we wanted with the looks and how do we make it work. By the way, I got to remind you guys, make sure you guys remind me. For those of you who have the MOWG toolbar, I have doctored the source workbook.xls that goes with it so that this works better, what I'm about to do. As a matter of fact, let me point this out. If you go to MOWG-crew, hello, and this is cleaner, by the way, cleaner coding, MOWG-crew.com/toolbars, in the plural, toolbars. It'll forward you here, okay? One thing that's here is source workbook.xls. This is the source workbook file that we use for universal fixes, the replace editor, and so forth. Let me just show you. If I start a new project, I go into a folder, call it something, project, whatever, plumber Bob, I don't know. And I go in here and I create a new workbook, Excel, okay? All right, now I can open it and I can start doing stuff. I can import a web page and then run the universal fixes, although if you import, it's programmed to automatically run the universal fixes. You just fill in the blanks and it does its thing, okay? But if I go to universal fixes, I can add and edit the universal fixes for coding changes I want, things I want. Well, guess what we found out? This is a better layout and it serves T2HTML properly, and it doesn't detract from any other kind of custom run you want to do. So the way it's built right now is very, very good for you. And this right here is getting called in. It's actually the source workbook.xls. Then I can update it and it brings me back to where I started again. Okay, so where did it keep track of that list? Okay, you guys should know. If you go to your computer, C drive, go to wherever you keep your MOWG toolbar. So it's either in the project, project files or project files x86 folder. Go in there, and you've got your MOWG toolbar 17 folder, right? The one you guys dragged in when you got the T2H HB, or you've had it from before. Okay, and you go in there. There is a source workbook.xls. That's the old one. Okay, the new one is the one you download from right where I told you, this one right here. So just click it, okay, it downloaded, all right? You need to open it. Just take it, drag it in there, and let it overwrite. You don't need the old one unless you made your own custom changes to it and you want to save it. And if so, then make a second name for it so you can switch back and forth between those. You know, because some of you guys have really come up with your own for your own purposes, right? So you don't want to overwrite that. Okay, just make sure they have different names. All right, there's that. Now this is going to work, what I'm going to show you. Okay, I'm going to go in here. I'm going to open this thing. I'm going to hit, guess what? Let me see, new combined.theme, to html.com is the one I'm doing right now. MOWG toolbar, import web page, put it in without the HTTP bit, okay, without the slash at the end, without a www dot, just the domain name. New combined.theme2HTML.com. Notice it's a subdomain, perfectly fine. Okay, ready? I'm going to hit OK. And it's going to import and ask me what I want to change, and I'll say OK. Right? There, I got it. Okay? And that might be the one I want. Now, by the way, just real quick, what did I not do? I did not get my MOWG page, but maybe this is the one I want, right? That's like I said, I want the one with the video and everything rotating, so this is the one I might want, right? That's importing the web page, and we can do that. But that's not what we're going to do this time. Watch this. This is going to be completely different and cool. Let me delete. You'll see where we're going now. Okay, but I just did all that to remind you guys how that went, where we get started normally. Watch this. Okay, I'm going to go to my page that I want to MOWG. Let's say it's this one. Okay, I'm just going to say it is because I made a backup copy. I can replace it later. Ready? Spin Rewriter API. Okay, and I am not going to change anything in the content area. I'm going to download the spun text. Download the spun text. Okay, all right. Then scroll down, use API. Right? Now, I just got to wait some number of seconds, take a sip of coffee at this point, right? Oh, you're going to like this. This is so cool. There it is. There's my text, okay? I can open it, and I see it. You're not going to believe this, maybe. I can close this. All right. Watch this. What do we know? This is spinner syntax. So we are going to put it in our worksheet, which we saved in a folder. Open it. Okay. Select all. Copy. Okay. Double click inside the first cell so I can paste it. Hit yes. All right. Now what do I need to do? MOWG toolbar. Convert from spinner syntax so that it can convert from. Guess what? It maintained all the HTML. So now I can just hit header generator. And it does the rest of the work for me. And it saved the HTML and the CSV, which I'll need later. Okay, so I can close this thing and save it now if I want. I don't even need to save it. Now, you guys all know the other thing is that whenever you produce a vars.csv file, you must open it and kill that empty first column. It's a strange sort of technical hurdle we haven't figured out how to get over, but we always wind up with this stray column here, and we can't have a stray column. So just make sure to close it or MOWG will error out. Okay, that's all. Now that I saved it over there, I don't need to save it again. See, it's saved. If I open it, you see it's saved. Okay, no stray column. All right, now check this out. If I edit my index.html, I mean, I could open it and stare at what I did. What I do, I got the coding I needed for that block, right? That's the coding I needed for that block. Okay, that's the coding I needed for the block. That's this block in here. Okay, I want to paste it back in the page, right? So check this out. I'm going to edit my index.html so I get my text view so I can select all and copy all this text. I'm going to come back here, flip to source, control all. I can delete it if I want. And then I'm going to paste in this other text, right? And now I can save it. Update and reload. Okay? Now where are we at? How many of you guys realized how far we got just now? Okay? Let's take a look. I'm using this for my temporary home page. It's just for MOWG purposes. When I'm all done with it, I'll change the page back so that my main page just looks like this. Maybe that's what I wanted, right? But check this out. If I refresh it, there we go. The page is already cool. There's no weirdness to doing the code to vars where you wind up with variations on code. Okay, we removed the need to do it by already having the page set. All we wanted to MOWG, at least in the first place, is this block right here and leave everything else alone. That way we get all of our pages are going to point at this page and that page and that page because they're very important pages. Okay, everything else looks normal and right. I can do custom MOWG tweaks to it later, add a menu or whatever, but I can decide that later too. All I really wanted to do right now was this bit. Okay. Later I can deal with the page title and stuff. I just wanted that. So guess what? I have a perfect page with perfect coding and the vars are already done. So at this point, guess what I get to do? I get to import this page. The only reason to do that is in case some of these links, okay, are relative URLs. And they won't work if we're, putting them up in new folders, right? Those relative URLs won't work unless we convert them to full URLs. So that's the only other thing I need to do is import this page properly now. And you'll see. But the vars are already done. We already have a var sheet that matches all the vars on here. The vars are perfectly matched. So watch this. This time I'm going to create a new worksheet. Okay, I don't need the other one. I could just throw it away. Okay. And heck, I'll throw it away. And so here I can open this new one. Import the page. Okay, get all this crap out of the way. Okay, import it. And this too. And yeah, overwrite the index page because we've got the new version of it now, the finished one. And I can close it. I don't have to do code to vars. I don't have to go any further right now. So check this out. Remember, I have a var sheet with all these vars that is exactly matched to this page right here, which is literally reading from on my desktop. See how it starts with file : //c : users desktop. This is on my desktop and everything is correct about it. The background looks right. the banner's acting right, the banner slider here, all this stuff is connected. All the links are full URLs, so they connect properly. If I click any one of them, they'll go where they're supposed to go. Everything is done. Now, what might I want to do from here? Just custom tweaks. Add some new vars for the page title, say. Maybe I want to right-click and edit, okay? And I might open up my var sheet so I can match some new vars I want. Maybe I need some vars for my page title, so I just find it. Oh, the other thing to do is watch out for your robots tag, right? How many of you guys have caught this? You put out some pages, and you're waiting, and you're not getting any pages to index. Remember, we built it this way at first, so when you're producing your pages, Google does not see them, Bing does not see them, MSN does not see them until you say see them. And just to remind you how that looks in the back end. If you go to the global settings, it's the bottom one. Google and other crawlers can index pages. Yes, so let me go in there. Yes or no. Can they index the pages or no? Well, when I'm doing work like this, and I'm doing demos and I'm showing people, I don't want Google to index these pages, right? For guys that just don't want it up, don't want to do anything with it, I don't want it up. I'm not trying to get it to rank. I'm not trying to get any of these pages to rank. All of them better be no indexed, and that's the point. If you look at the source code, they are. They all carry the no index tag right now on purpose. I don't want them to index. But when I do want them to index, either because I've got it on my own website and I want that to happen, or I'm sending a guy a zipped up copy for him, or I'm putting it on his website for him, okay, then I want the pages to index. So right here where it says allow indexing, yes or no, you can just choose it here, okay? That way you can make sure to overwrite that no index tag, okay? That way you can get the pages to index properly. So it's up to you. When you're setting this up, you can choose whether to allow indexing or not, okay? There's that, all right? But what's the point? The point is this. Aside from that, how close am I? The answer is I'm there. I could just do page title, like I said, meta description, like I said, add some new vars in there, and I'll do new training over that now that it's so much easier to teach. It's just like adding some more spinner options. That's it, just for the page title and the meta description. Point is, how easy is it to do a MOWG run? Will it work? I've got my HTML page and my CSV file, and that's really all I need. I can throw away the worksheet, okay? Let me just open MOWG Pro and do a dumb and dirty run just with that right now and make sure it actually functionally works. Let me go. I'm going to find the project folder, okay, index, CSV file, dumb and dirty run, like I said. Where's it going again? New combine.theme2HTML.com. I'll just do like 50. I won't even upload to FTP. I'm just showing you how it works. Flip to the next page. Now, some of you guys have never done this before. This is easy to understand once you learn it. So if you haven't, don't worry about it. I mean, it's simple stuff to explain. Yeah, whatever. All right, there we go. All right, and I'll choose a couple of keywords, click it off, and get a keywords folder, right? I need a keywords folder to save the keywords in. So when it runs, I'm deciding what the keywords should be, like technicians and plumbing, or if I have a city-state in there, then I get the city along with the keywords, so I can get the geo-targeted keywords, and I want to collect that keyword list together, okay, so that I can go look on Google and see where I'm ranking. Or better yet, use the Clever Stat tool, put in your website, put in that keyword list that we saved, and let that automatically look up all your positions for all the keywords so it can tell you where you're ranking, right? That way you've got the report, either for yourself or for your clients or your friends or whoever you're doing it for, or for your boss, All right, here we go. Project folder. I'm going to create a new folder to put the keys in. Okay, I'll just call it keys. Okay. There, it's highlighted. That's why I need it, so okay. That's where it's going to go. That's all I needed. Process. And I'm putting it where? I'm putting it on the website, right? And let me go there and take a look. I'm putting them on the website that I uploaded this thing to. That's the whole point. This is the one. Okay? And let me just look at some of this, Let me just go into one of these pages and take a look, okay? guess what? It works perfectly, even in subfolders, right? Everything is correct, okay? How many of you guys find this easier? How many of you guys can see that we can do kind of like the UAP idea, just much, much better than what you guys have been used to? This, right? So we can take a wild leap from generic content that's not really all that convertible for a lot of things, okay, on a website that had no particular look to it, because the whole idea was to get you to click this image to get to the website. That was the whole point of the page, to be boring with small print and get you to go click on this image, okay? But here, you can have the final page where people can immediately call or immediately contact you, okay? And all of it's on even a MOWG run for thousands of pages, and it reads however the right way it to read will work. You went through your vars to the degree you wanted, clean them up a bit, but the spin rewriter's great. Does like 80-85% of the work for you anyway. So there's very little left for you to touch up. It doesn't take long, right? And this looks hot, doesn't it? Quite hotter and quite more convertible, right, than what we had before, right? This is what a client would really want to see. This you have to explain to a client. Here's the reason why the page is boring. Here's why the print is small. And what we have to do is make the image say everything, right? But what we've got now is you don't need to get people to click anything. They're already here. They're already looking at your best services. They're already considering what they want to click on. They're already possibly able to contact you. They can call you. They understand that you're serving Atlanta, Georgia since 2006. You know, they know they're in the right place. They see the right logo. They see your images, for example. And there you have it. Okay, now just to show you a fast review again of how quick this went, okay, because I just want to show you one last time, now that we've gone through it all, how quick this actually was. So let me dump everything out of my project folder. Heck, let me even dump my project folder. Let me even flip the theme to a different theme, okay? And I'm just basically not going to talk. How's that? Let me just kind of, oh, I'm going to try. I'm really bad at that, aren't I? All right, let me sign out of there. Oh, I don't need to be signed out, right? I'm getting used to this too. I just figured this out last night, literally. So I've only been getting my head around it, okay? Let me go to my pages. I'm going to take like my home page. Here, let me get rid of the other ones because, yeah, I was doing it before. Okay, there we go. I'm going to take my home page, copy it. So I got a backup of the home page. I can make the home page again later. Just paste the contents back in the box, the original contents, right? Now let me go on my home page, and I'm going to use the Spin Rewriter API. Choose Download Spun Content, and go. In the meantime, if I want, I can minimize it if I want. Create a new folder. Call it something. You know, Landscape 1 for whoever that guy is. Go in there. Create a new Excel sheet. All right, open it up. I'm going to use it. Let me get back on my page. There we go. I see it coming. Should be on my desktop because this is where I save this stuff. There it is. Ready? Select all. Copy. Double click in the first cell to get the cursor blinking in there. And paste it. Okay. You hit the check mark to accept it. MOWG. Convert from spinner syntax. And then header generator. Done. Done. Close. I'm going to be done with that. I can throw it away now. Okay. So I can throw this away. I've got my var sheet and I got my HTML page, right? My model page, my var sheet. Okay. Open this. Kill that first column. We have to kill the first column or MOWG will error out and you'll wonder why it's erroring out. And that'll be why. I forgot to close, kill that first column. Okay. Now edit my index.html so I can select all, get all this. So I can bring it back, so I can make the match happen. Close this, I don't need it. Go to source code, select all, paste. Update, reload if I want. Now, let's see how it looks. Okay, it's there. Okay, I should have looked at the original page too to make sure I have this nicely, because either this was off before or I got to fix something because something's too big in here. Oh, that's why. It's saying home twice. That's why. No menu link. That's right. Update and reload. Okay. Refresh. There, now it's fine. Yeah, that looks right. And I could put a picture in there or something if I want. Okay, I could even do it now. I can actually do it now. So let me just stick one in. Okay, what is homeopathy? I'm literally going to put a picture right in the middle of the paragraph and then make it look good. So browse the server, grab a picture. This should be pretty good. Yeah. All right. I'm going to align it to the right side of the page. Now I'm going to put like 15 pixels of space between it and the print horizontally and vertically. There. Now it's got room and it's aligned to the right and it looks good, and I can update and reload. And that doesn't change the vars any, so I'm still fine. I'm still fine. Let me refresh the page. There. Looks a little better. See? Looks a little better now. And I should do the bolding on those things, which I can still do. So let me do it. Like with like, let me see if I can just do it this way. Heading 2, that worked. Okay. The science, heading 2. Yeah, let me come down more. It's whatever this means. Heading 2. Yeah. And that might be all I need. All right. Update and reload. And again, if I want, I can get into the page title now and do something here, except that I'll probably do it later to make sure I get the vars and the MOWG side the way I want. Okay. Let's see how it looks now. There. Now that's probably the way I want it. You know, aside from color schemes and stuff, which that's the point. In the UAP now, I could still make the choices to change it, or into T2H. I got to get used to all of our stuff, you know. All right, ready? Like I could go into the website theme and colors right now and just start changing things anyway. Right now I can change the background color of the website. I don't want it that. I want it kind of like this, you know, whatever the main color is. Move that about, you know, wherever, right? And I can do all that right now. And I can, if I've got my image, great. You know, I can absolutely make these things happen the way I want right now. The service form, if I want to change the color of the service form, I can actually do it. You know, maybe make it kind of like a bright yellow. What do I know? I'm being kind of silly about it. I'm not using a color palette or anything. I'm just making the point that you can still make these changes right now. So you can adjust how you want the pages to look right on the spot, right? And it's okay that you do it later. Maybe I don't like the blue, whatever the font is, so let me just come down and change it. Archivo, let's go with Myriad Pro. Let's go with, don't need bold, but change the color and make it more of a, who knows, like a green. Okay, and then I'm going to use that color for the H2 and the H3. Okay, and I just got to change these to Myriad Pro if I want that to happen. Okay, and I might say that's about right. Update and reload. Refresh. There. And that's, every page has been affected properly. Wherever those tags are, when I highlight and make it an H2 tag, that means on all the pages, it's going to update that way now. Everywhere where I have an H2 tag is going to look the same way now. Okay. So there I go. I've got it the way I want. Okay. Whatever page I was on. Oh, it's going to index 1. Let me just do this. There. Got it. All right, now I can do it. I can download it. Okay, so I'm just showing you how easily I can still make changes and play with it. Now let me just do it. Open MOWG toolbar, import the web page. I just happen to know the link. And I'll just import it. Okay. I'll overwrite and overwrite. Okay. And I can close it. I mean, I can close it. I don't have to do anything more. This index page is now the right index page with all the right stuff, whatever it was I did. By the way, that image being broken, I just didn't do the right thing with it, whatever it was, I think, right? It was broken here, or, oh, if it's there, I better go in and make sure I use the full URL after all, or I can just fix it on here. I can edit this and update the URL real quick. Yeah, a piece of cake, though. Aside from that, Yeah, everything else is perfect anyway. And so I can literally start to do the run now. That's my point. I would just update that image. You guys should know how to do that. I don't really need to spend time on that, right? Most of you guys know how to do it. In this case, if I did it with Dreamweaver, it'd just be pretty quick, you know. So Dreamweaver's opening slowly for some reason. Probably just gonna be that way with this call. Either that or I need to restart the computer because I got so many things running at once from time to time. Okay, forget it. I'll just do it later. Point is, you know what's going on. Most of you guys know how to fix a broken link, right? Is like this, you know how to fix it, right? I could even look it up in Notepad if I wanted to do it and fix it there. Best homeopathic mess in Seattle. I can view the page source. Control F. Best homeopathic, medicine, Seattle, and yeah. Let me see. Wherever it is, somewhere in here, I just got a broken link. Aha, I see it. I see exactly why. And I can fix that really quick in the source code, right? newcombine.theme.com/http. Okay, I should figure out how to fix that too in the coding, but I will. Edit. So Control F. I'm going to have .com/http. Aha, there it is. And that goes away, so it's the right link. Okay, let me find another one. That's going to go away, so it's the right link. Find another one. That's going to go away, so it's the right link. Find another one. That's going to go away, so it's the right link. Yep, I see. I'll get that fixed. You know what that is? That's a universal editor kind of thing in the source book. So I'll send you guys a link later for the newer version of it, and it'll just automatically work right. Okay, there it goes. See, I fixed it. And all right, that's all I need to do for now. Again, the MOWG run, it's already done. I can throw away the XLS because all I need is the HTML, the model page, and the corresponding var sheet with just the breakdown of vars, right? Assuming I go through and clean it up a little however I want, to the degree I feel like spending time on it. Point is, right now I can just open MOWG Pro and start pumping out pages into any kind of a folder combination I want, and it can go on my subdomain perfectly, is a folder that fits in there, or whatever I'd like to do with it. Where am I at? I thought I was on the desktop. If I am, what was the name of that thing again? Like LS1, that's right. Okay. Index, right? Vars, okay, to combine. All right, 50, let's say. Don't need to upload this time around. I could fill in all the stuff and get it just to upload to the website where I want it to go. And let me just throw a few in, right? Again, we teach how you do this, right? And so that's easy. Save to a keys folder, LS1, keys. Okay. And that's it. Process. Look at that. It's almost seamless, right? Considering how much editing we did after we got it started, And so now just anything else I want to do, okay, I can go ahead and do. If I want to add new vars or whatever, I can do that. But those pages are there, All my pages are now there. And there they are. Completely different. They're all unique. And I can put them on the website. I could even do it by just renaming that folder. Let's say the folder was for Atlanta. Rename, maybe Atlanta. Okay, I can call it Atlanta. And I can just upload it right inside that subdomain. So for that subdomain, it is now going to be this. And then it could be /Atlanta. Okay, and that would be the project I just did with whatever, 50 pages, 100 pages, 1,000 pages, 5,000 pages, or 10,000 pages, or 50,000, whatever it is that the guy ordered from you, or whatever, however it is that you do any kind of work and you're producing pages, whatever you want, So that is why I'm calling this the new generation of the UAP, because it's, you know, it's better than the UAP, and it's not like we give you too little work, but at the same time, you don't have too much work, right? You can just easily copy other people's stuff, put it in the pages, make it look right, and then just move forward with it from there. It's so easy by now, right? And so you can do a website for a guy, and then you can turn around and MOWG it, and it's not hard to do. And you can choose whatever services you want to sell and however much you want to charge and however much extra attention you put in a, whatever, like the page title and the meta description, or whether you put any vars on some of the images and the alt codes, things like that. You can make those decisions as you want, okay? All right, what I want to do is take a quick break, and those of you who have questions, sound off. You know, just put a number up, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't care. Yeah, you can't see each other, so just say me. And what I'll do is I'll open you up if you want the mic, or else you could type, whatever you like, and go through the questions with you real quick. And just, you guys can give me a little feedback on what your experience has been, what you like or don't like about Theme2HTML. You can even say, you know, some of the wish list stuff you have in mind. I'd love to open it up and let some of you guys voice your opinion and voice your wish list and all that kind of thing, because it's been really fun building this stuff up and figuring out what kind of power we have. You guys feel it? We're at the beginning of the first year of what's going to turn into a lot of wild development on this. It's just going to be really cool. But at least you guys are at the beginning, so the growth will be simple. It's like when somebody comes to MOWG now, they got a lot to learn. But for guys who grew up with MOWG from the beginning, MOWG is intuitive. It makes sense from the beginning onward, right? So now we're at the beginning of T2H, where everything is clean and easy to deal with. And unlike WordPress or Drupal, it doesn't have, like, let me see, WordPress's problem are add-ins, right? Trying to get two add-ins to work together without tripping over each other. That's painful. At least we're not having that kind of a problem now. Maybe in a couple of years when a lot of people have added a lot of their own stuff, we'll have to do some micromanaging there, but we're not overburdened with issues like that. That's one. Second thing, global variables. That's just awesome. I don't know who has global variables. Another one is when people say, why use T2H instead of whatever, WordPress or Drupal? Well, for the reasons that make it cool. In our case, global variables is one. Another one, you don't have to install WordPress on some website. You just upload the pages to the website, it's done. There is no explaining instructions to anyone or logging onto somebody else's website to do. And again, we just made it work with MOWG, okay? I don't think you can do that on any other system out there yet, CMS, all right? But now you can do MOWG with proper pitches for the thing you're selling, you know, and still with ease. All right. Please do me a favor of saying, hit record again when you get back, because I'm going to pause it now so we can take 5 minutes, right, and let you guys get your thoughts together, because now I just want to Q&A this thing, and I'd love to hear from you guys. You know, I've heard individual things pop up which are cool, a lot of great feedback, and some wish list items, and some things that we've actually fixed live and just made better for you. And I'd love to hear more of whatever it is that you want to talk about, and questions, especially questions if you have them, so that we can figure out what we can and should do next. All right, so I'm going to take about 5. When I come back, please say, don't forget to start recording again, Dave, something like that. And we'll go through questions, whatever you guys want to type in. We'll just start walking through. Okay? See you in about 5. Recording. All right, so I'm back, and yes, I did remember to start recording again. All right, let me see. I want to start bringing some of you guys up and see what you guys have a lot to say. Let me see. Let me start for the fun of it. I'll just start like opening up your mics, whether you like it or not, you know, for fun. All right, Thomas Martin, I'm going to hit you first because you actually had a lot to say, so I just thought I'd say hi. Thanks for your comments. It's been cool reading them. Yep. So do you hear me? Oh, I see. He's got some kind of an audio issue, so yeah, he doesn't hear me. So that's okay. Yeah, anyway, thanks a lot for the comments, Thomas. It's been good catching them. They're good comments. That's cool. All right, let me go on to the next guy. Let me see. Jelani, haven't heard from you in a while. I know you're busy. You're always keeping busy. Let me open you up. How you doing, Jelani?
I'm all right.
He's a guy I've known since forever. What's it been, 2004? Something like that?
Yeah. Yep, 2004.
10 years? That's crazy. All right. So, yeah, what have you got? Let me see. I had a question here. What do you think, by the way?
Well, I mean, being that I learned how to code HTML from scratch,
Yeah.
I can see how the theme to HTML would greatly simplify things for people who have not learned how to code.
Yeah, there you go. That's an excellent statement. It's like, that's what I face every day, right, is people send me coding questions. It's like, how come I can't get the YouTube video to show up? Or what do I do instead of this? And that just, so much of T2H was based on saying, we've done as much as we can with MOWG directly. Why don't we simplify the front end better, you know? And that was cool. All right, let me see.
Yeah, I mean, another thing is that, like, over the years, people forget the fact that originally, when you had to write your code from scratch, people had to create their own HTML templates. We kind of forget or take it for granted that now people create templates. You just need to know how to read code well enough to customize your template.
Yeah, there you go. And that is so cool because that much has changed a lot, and that's true. And for anyone who's thinking, doesn't it bother Google to see familiar templates, you know, especially for different industries? The answer is no, of course not, because Google never cares about the templates. They expect you're buying a pre-cut template. Most people do, right? And they expect that the template you get is laid out to be clear, right? They're not going to tell you what to do with your template. They're interested in your content. All right, I found my piece of that. Fun bit with Jelani was I remember you thinking code from the earliest days. I remember in some forum somewhere somebody said something kind of dumb, must have been a troll, and you responded to him like, you know, well, that was so observant. I don't know. You said something like this, and I just happened to see it. And what you had that cracked me right up was the first time I ever saw this. Okay. Do you recognize that?
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
You put it in like that, sarcasm and sarcasm. I just thought that's brilliant. It's like the world we're in as coders, right? Oh, boy. All right, so let me see. I think that's that. So, yeah, thanks a lot. If you don't have anything else right off the bat, I'm going to go ahead and pop on to the next question. Yeah. All right, thanks a lot, Jelani. That was cool.
All right, cool.
Yeah. All right, Charles, you got a bunch of questions. I'm going to go popping through them because they're smart ones. And Charles, you're the guy with a wish list, the biggest one I've seen yet. But yeah, I mean, you're getting into this, aren't you? Hey, Charles, I can hear you. I can hear you type. Yeah, you love it. So you can talk now. Yeah. Did you fall out of your chair? Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I'm just wanting to be silent in the background here.
Oh, I see. Yeah, no problem at all. But you're enjoying it, huh? Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, that is cool. All right, let me pop you out. Let me go through your questions, though. A few super cool. When you have how do we kill or replace the scheduled service box? All right, very, very good. Let me see. Let me go through these. Okay, good questions. This is going to become optional. It's going to be either this or two more of these. This, which was the original way this existed before a lot of questions came in about being able to make a very simple, easy way to contact people back, right? So this came into existence. But you're going to have a choice when we get a little further in. First, we're building a new one of these, and it's going to have editable fields, and you're going to be able to edit this because scheduled service doesn't apply to everything. Right now, I can edit it by going into people's files and doing that. But you're going to be able to give it the title you want, give it the fields you want, decide which are optional, which are required. And there's going to be some looks, I think, to it that you can choose from. So that's coming up. It's coming up. And then you're going to, the next thing that goes with it is you can turn it on or off, kind of the way you can turn on or off features from down here. And what'll go here is either this, it's actually going to be a choice. It's going to be this or the two of these, you know, that'll be up in here that you can edit. Right? And so that's that. All right, so let me see. Can find that feature? Yeah, you can't, but you will be able to. HTML-friendly Q&A page. That's a very good idea, and I see what you mean about the scrolling bit, right? Like we just started to play with this one on Theme2HTML, and I think this is kind of a cool way to go with it. But like if you hit features up here, it glides down to the features section on the page in a very easy to see manner so you can understand where you're at and what's on the page. Nice, easy glide, right? And so I think with your Q&A, probably we're going to do something like that, or we can, that's what I mean, create that kind of a page that you can use or make it a module, like a Q&A module. So in the back end, you would find it under the modules as one of the modules you can put into the page. By the way, how do you put a module into a page? Just in case you don't know, let me just show you. If you have pages, right? Let's just say I had a page I want to put one in, maybe in the home page, right? Let's say I want to put it like right here. I don't know where I want to put it, but I could put it anywhere. There's two things I have to do to make the module work. One is to put the name of the module in here in brackets. It's like contact us, I believe is the right name. Okay. By the way, this is the way it looks. Okay, just making sure you guys can see. Okay. I believe that's the right name. If not, try like contact or contact dash us, but I'm pretty sure it's not that. I think it's just contact us. Okay. And if you do that and you choose it from the modules, it's got to be the right one. Okay, that's the contact us one. Then you made the match. You said the module that goes on this page is this one, and it's going to be right here. So that and this are the match. Hit update and reload. So as long as I got the name right, let me refresh. Then, yep, it exists. It's right here. The contact us form is right there in the middle of the page. Okay. Now, you can do that with any of the modules, putting them anywhere in the page. You just got to get the name right and then choose it from down here. And so you can do that, okay? And some of you guys actually recognize that already. Let me see. Like, let me take this back off and make it none. Update. Like when you looked at the testimonials page, what was that? Let's look at the pages again and look at the testimonials page here. Okay, see how it's got a module on it? The other one's got the Contact Us module on it on the Contact Us page. Well, if we look at testimonials, that's it. That's all it is. The word testimonials in those curly brackets and the testimonials choice down here. And we called it reviews with the name testimonials. And it's a page in the menu. And so there it is. When you click it, right, it's the testimonials page, right? That's it, okay? All right, let me see. What else have we got? Right. HTML friendly. Okay. So yeah, your Q&A page is going to be a great idea, and I think we should make a module like that. Okay. And so that's kind of like a really cool thing. By the way, anyone that wants to come up with ideas and design them, you can actually design modules. We'll make it really easy for you guys to do after a little while, because people are going to want to create their own. Right now, you can kind of do it in the left sidebar pretty easily. If you go in the left sidebar, you can add a new item that you can enable or disable, and you can make it work. Like if we look at one of these, what is it? Okay, we made it work our way, but what is it? It's got a reference name, whatever you want to call it. Then the box heading is whatever the box heading is, you know, the YouTube video code, YouTube video description, and include related videos or not. Okay, let me go back. Let's take a look at another one though. Featured services. All it is the reference name, and then select the pages you want for your services. Control key, hold down. I want that, and that, and that, and that, and that. Update. And that just means if you have the featured services enabled, right, that's what it shows is your featured services. When you click them, it goes to those pages, right? So these work. And it's awesome, isn't it, that it's that simple. Then what? A Facebook like box. Let's just call it something and put in the box contents, which is HTML code. All it is the code for your Facebook box. Okay, we'll go back. Client testimonials. Kind of similar. It's just how does the coding look? What image goes with it? Browse to get it. What do you call it? That's it. That's really all you needed. Okay, so you can add a new one. So far, this is all we have for choices. Give it a name and put in your HTML. That's how the Facebook one works, and you can do the same thing. And you could make this similar to the testimonials where you include an image in here and put whatever for the heading above, whatever for the description below. So you could reproduce something like that if you wanted to. But what I mean is you can create these items that you could want in your left sidebar, things that you think are important to you in your left sidebar. Okay. And you can, of course, put them in any order you want just by dragging the order around, you know. And so if you want to do that, you can save sorting, go back and take a look, and that's going to be the order that you chose, right, in the left sidebar. And that's cool. But you can create new ones, okay, and they'll work with MOWG. No reason why not. All right, let me see what else, because these are good questions. Let me see. How do we change font size to top slider without HTML coding? Font sizes and top slider. Right. Hey, Charles, by that too, just real quick, you mean the hello. Oh yeah, index. Got to get back to index. Homepage, right? This, right? And you're talking about the font size and stuff like that. Is that what you're talking about? Just making sure I know. Pretty sure that's what you mean. Yeah. Again, we don't have a feature to change the size yet, but you might be able to. I didn't even think about this. You could try this for the fun of it. Go into one of those, okay? And I don't really think that this will work, but you could try like font size equals -1. Okay, that should be in double quotes. Font size equal double quotes, -1. And font. In other words, add some coding to it. Actually, an easier one would just be small, right? The word small. Update. I don't think it'll work, okay? But we will make something like that work after a bit because this is kind of a good idea. Oh, it did work. Look at that. I can make it smaller, all right? It's not like great control maybe, but you could probably do better. So it's kind of funny how that goes. Oh, that's just weird. Herbal medicine, okay. That could also just kind of screw up the box too. I don't know. That was strange. All right, maybe now it looks normal again. Yeah, it should. Okay. Yeah, that's not the best way to do it, but we'll come out with a way to do it after a while because, yeah, people are going to want that. That's a feature we expect is people want to control the size of this. Let me see. Slider windows, edit our services text. Above the slider windows, edit our services text. Again, let me go to the front page. It keeps going to the other home page, right? Because that's what it thinks the order of events is from here. I guess. Oh, I shouldn't even call that home. That would probably be easier if I didn't. I shouldn't even call it index. I should call it backup. And I'll just call this backup dash home. Okay, that way I know what it is. And it's not in the menu link. Okay. Okay. But the other one should be in the menu link. Home page with menu link. Okay, now I got it. That way it quits going to the wrong one for our purposes. Let me see what else. Above the slider windows, how do you change what? Our services? And our services. Okay, I mean you probably know what you're talking about at this point because like changing our services and stuff you can just do, right? Just change the verbiage on the pages for whatever you want the names to be. Go to whatever it is, whatever one like services, okay? And then just simply give it a new name in the menu. Okay, and these question marks tell you some of the stuff like this text will display as navigation menu tab text, okay? And that just helps you understand better. Yeah, just simply change the words and hit update. So you can change all the words, okay? There's no reason you have to stick with anything here. You can change the words and change the order, right? All right, let me see. Oh, and then for this, okay, if you're talking about up in here, for anybody that's wondering about this, okay, those are two items that we have above the four, our services. Okay. These items right here, of course, are in the global settings, right? Just so you know. The call us header text is the call us header. It says to book an appointment call, and it gives the phone, right? That's this. To book an appointment call, and it gives the phone. Okay? And you can change that. You can change the verbiage and everything. You can put the phone number if you want. And then if we go back, the other one was opening days text in header. And that's open, and I'm using, again, my variables, first business day through last business day. Okay, and that's right here. This verbiage right here. Okay, and that, again, can be anything you want it to be. And you can make this like a heading. You can make a normal paragraph. You can do what you want to do with it. Okay. Oh, I see. And then there's also this down here. Our services for the blocks down here. This, anything you can't change inside of the T2H yet, you can just change by editing the page after you export it, right? Like once you create the page elsewhere, like I did here, I created this page elsewhere, right? Now that I have it out of the T2H editor, it's a regular HTML page. So I can just change it on my own. Right? I can go find that and change it on my own. I can edit this, even in Notepad probably, and just look it up, our services. I'm sure it'll say it more than once maybe. Click here for our services. That's different. Let me find the next one. There it is, H1 tag way down low where the service slider is. I just recognize it. So I can say our features, you know, with a couple of exclamation points to make sure I'm in the right spot or who knows what. But it'll be there. And if I go look, now that's what it says, okay? And if I want to make that a var for MOWG and add a new var to my CSV file, I can do that. Creating your own templates. This is a good question. Jeremy would just ask, I just saw it. But the reality check is it's difficult for one reason. The thing that we have to try to blend is that functionality built into the T2H, like the functions here, okay, the way this works. Being able to make these work with entirely different templates is just trickier. But it is interesting to us, and it's interesting to you, and we know that, to make it possible for anyone to design their own entire thing in here. This is going to become something that we do, making developer options. So it's possible to completely create whole new templates and stuff. So we'll do that. It's tricky. It means that we have to somehow help the developer see how to attach a function you could want to elements in the style sheet and formulate the connections you need to make your template work, right? So it's just a little on the tricky side, but it is interesting, and it is something we want to do. So this thing will come live over, I don't know when, next couple of months or so. We'll figure it out. Right now, it's the deployable we're working on. And some of the functions like making the form amenable for people who want a different form, and some of these other things amenable that people are asking about, like down here. This. No reason that cannot be amenable inside of the panel. Just no one asked for it before, and we didn't think about it. But, yeah, we'll make it amenable. Let me see. What else? City. Okay, cover that. Scholar webinar say, already answered, right? Website for client, do you give them? Oh, that's a good one. Kathy asks, when you do a website for a client, do you give them the right to access to update the website on their own, like in WordPress? Hi, Kathy. As a matter of fact, you're in Mexico. I just want to pop you up and say, are you enjoying the weather? Hey, Kathy. I hear you. You can
hello.
speak. Yep. Hi.
Can I speak? Okay.
Yeah. What you doing in Mexico? Yeah.
I'm just on vacation.
Oh, that's cool. How are you enjoying it down there? You're in like Los Cabos or something?
No, I'm in Mazatlan.
Oh, there you go. So are you enjoying it?
Yes, I am. Yeah, it's warm. It's 27 today, so can't beat that.
They wrap blankets around you when you go to supper and stuff just to make sure you're comfortable.
Yeah, exactly.
Great down there.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to see if you can, because I know when you go into the back office here, you could, you have all these. But you wouldn't give a client the right to go there, or would you make a?
That's going to be case by case. Like I'm saying, what I'm saying is the way we're setting this thing up now, this becomes an upsell. In other words, you charge them one price, you do the site for them. Like maybe if I did this for somebody who could use it, I might charge them, again, who knows how much, maybe $450. You know, I'll assume it's going to take me like 3 hours at $150 an hour. It might be the way I choose to price it. If you're willing to work for 20 bucks an hour, and you're not, but if you were, and you thought that the site would take you 4 hours, could you charge 80 bucks? Yeah. Would somebody let you build the site for them for 80 bucks by copying the stuff from their website and pasting it in and making it look like their website? Yeah. I mean, that's actually pretty easy. We haven't done a lot in the way of like just like rush jobs and stuff. But if I were to go to a website, snatch their logo, or use Snagit to create one, and then upload it inside of here, right? Just go to Global Settings, Website Logo, and then just browse and grab it off my computer. In this case is what I would do. Choose the file because I downloaded it from their website. Maybe I put it on the desktop. It might be here. And I take that picture, whatever it is, feature request, how's that? I upload it. And then once it's here, I decide that becomes the logo, okay? And that's the one, and I click it and make that the logo. And you can make whatever you want the logo. You know, I might just make this the logo, footer 3, you know, for the fun of it. What do I know? Okay?
Right.
Now, once I do that, already their site starts to look more like them. Now, the only problem with that is I'm trying to put their logo with the background. So I've got the problem with the colors not oh, I didn't save it or something. The colors not matching up properly, so I'd have to do some more gaming with it if I wanted to go that route. Oh, look, it's showing up here. I think it's just caching wrong. Oh, that's why it's on my computer. That's on my computer too. Let me get back to the website. There we go. All right,
Yeah.
so I might use Photoshop and knock the white off, the white outside of the wings. You know, if you know how to use the magic wand, you just open this in Photoshop.
Okay, yeah, I know how to do that. Yeah.
Just kill that.
No, I was just
stuff.
wondering because I did a website for a daycare, and they update their website all the time on a monthly basis. So I don't do that anymore. I just gave them the right to go in to the WordPress site and.
You see, that's worth. Yeah, it's just all I want to say is that's worth money. If you're giving them the right to do it and then you're being supported in the background, that's awesome, first of all, because it makes you a lot more efficient. It just means you can get back to Mexico more often.
Exactly.
Yeah, because they're happy to have the power, right? Once they realize that they can control it, they get hungry for the power. And the power is worth whatever it is that you're going to charge for the upsell. Now, it's pretty extensive power. And the fact that they can create site after site after site, they can keep creating a different version and exporting it. Now, they're not just going to go into the new business of trying to compete selling these things. They're not. They're in their own business. So you don't have to worry about them becoming your competitors anyway. And who cares? The Internet's huge, right? But the reality check is they will be so happy to be served something they've never got before. Everyone tells you need a new website when you try to get something going and you call a marketing company and they go, we're going to need to charge you for a new website. That'll be $8,000, please. Companies are used to that. Homeopaths are not used to that. They can't cut it. You know, they can't cut $8,000. Plumbers are used to it. Landscapers are used to it. But the problem is they go with the new one because they still don't know the difference between website design and website marketing. Those are two different worlds. They're going to pay $8,000 for the website to look like this. They're going to pay another $8,000 to market it. They don't know that. When they're getting a website in the first place, they're thinking $8,000 covers all of it. And very often it's so vague whether that's true. But the reality check is when they get the website and it doesn't make a lot of money, they blame the website. They look at the website and go, I guess it's just not the right kind of a website. They don't even know why. And so then they call another marketing company. And guess what they say? Oh, the problem is you need a new website. That'll be $8,000, please. Because they got to get work into their people, right? Because they got employees they have to feed. So they have to sell you a new website first. Or they're cutting off one of the biggest, most opportunities when you're all hyped up and you believe in that marketing company. And so what are they afraid of after a couple of these? That they're going to buy a website for $8,000 that's going to get scrapped. What can you give them that they never had before? Control to change their website. If it's not working out right the first time around, they can start changing it and playing with it on their own. They don't have to pay you $150 to change the background color. You get it?
Right. Okay. Okay. So, but you would just save their like you were saying, saving it as a project. like a project name. So, and then they just go into whatever project name, and then they can manipulate their own website.
Yes, because ultimately
okay.
this thing is basically going to be white labeled. In the end, if you go selling this to them, and you know you buy it from us for one price, all you have to do is sell it to them more expensively to make a profit on it, or sell it at cost just to be in their good graces because you're charging them, you know, through the wazoo on everything else.
Right.
But the reality check is however you feel like handling it is where you feel like putting your price points and what you feel like bundling in to make them say, oh, I really want that, right? But then the reality check now is it's so easy. If they want the website, they'll cough up the money, and if they can't afford it, see if you can get payments out of them. And keep it hosted in your website until they have it paid off, and then you can zip the whole thing up and send it to them. They own it now. See? That's cool. And then if they get the admin panel, whether they're paying or after they've made a certain number of payments, you give them the access to the panel. Then, in other words, you give them their own panel, you know.
Okay.
Then what? Then they've earned that, and they're happy as the blue blazes having the ability to change your website, and that also is just helping cover you because now you don't have to make any kind of guarantee or even insinuate too much about how many sales you're going to make with it because at that point, at some point, they're choosing to share that responsibility with you. They're helping you with the stuff you can't guess. You don't know what's the most convertible thing for them to do. You don't know which images are the best, what messages are the best for their industry. It's going to be up to them. But they have the ability to test now. So they can try some different messages and run it out for a week, see how well it works, and then change it around and see how well that works and see where they're making more money and go with the better options. They can keep going without paying you every tooth and nail item. And that is why they're willing to buy this even for a good price, even for a great price up front.
Great.
Make sense?
Excellent. Yes, it does. Yep.
That puts you in business.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. No problem. Enjoy it down there.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, sitting outside. It's great. Thank you.
Okay. Let's see. When you export a project and want to upload to the server, how do I have to use the URL path name to properly display it on my website? Let me see, Charlie. I'm not sure if I understand your question, so let me pop you open. And hi, Charlie.
Hi.
Yeah, hi. So you're asking, let me see if I get this right. In the export, you're saying if you're going to put this on your website directly with FTP, is that what you're saying?
Well, it's when I exported it, and I did it without the URL. So I just put it to my desktop and then uploaded it to my server.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, when I tried to display it on my web, on my server on
broken
my web
links,
page.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
The thing about the broken links is controlled right here. It depends about absolute paths. You hover over the question mark, and it tells you what your choices should be. And in your case, what you should do is instead of going without the URL, you say with, and you just type it in, whatever you needed it to be. If I need that to be a certain subdomain, okay, I'm saying Mother's Day Flowers, MDF, dot, okay, and then it's directory, whatever your website is, right?
Right.
Then if you need to specify that so that the links are going to work right, then it's good to use with URL in that case and export it. And it will append that stuff. It will know what you want. And there's my Mother's Day Flowers, version 1.zip. And I just export it, and it'll create it, and it will append this to the beginning of all the links. That was part of what our idea for T2H was, to avoid all the confusion everyone always has over relative URLs versus absolute URLs, is just simplifying the choice, telling them how to choose, and it's either this or this depending on the situation.
All right.
It's kind of cool, huh?
Yeah, it is.
So are you enjoying this so far?
Oh, I am.
That is cool.
Just we're trying to get a sales letter together to send to everybody.
You got the right idea. And it's cool if you can get somebody doing some demos, pay some kids to sit down and copy paste some stuff from some promising websites and pull down some images, put them up, take some snapshots. And then that way you can just send some images. That's if you want, but it's a really cool way to show what's possible. See, how do you get hooked on anything? How does anyone get hooked on anything? Where did I put the thing where we were showing about the templates before? Templates we were working on, right? I just want to make that point because this is really a big deal. If I can find it, was that it? Of course it's not. Oh, I think I know where it is all of a sudden. Hold on. Right here, right here, right here. Yeah, look, how did I get sold on this? Probably the same way you did. Somebody sent me a picture and said, we can make a website that looks like this. That can be all about you, okay? Or how about this? You know, and they said, we can make this website. So this can work for a lot of lawyers, right? What's that seem like to you? You know, what about this? I know guys who bought exactly, there are a couple of guys who bought because they saw this, and they're lawyers, and they're saying, man, you know, can I give up the homeopathy website if I can get the lawyer website later? It's like, yeah, no problem. I'll toss it in because I completely know where you're coming from. I obviously know that's why you're getting it. They're exactly, people buy into what looks like glass is half full in their eyes. If their website is letting them down, and you show them something that looks even a little like them, you know, so you put in some stuff that looks like them, their phone number, their company name or logo or whatever, maybe do a color pick real fast so you can make the thing the same color, and you just send them where you just build in some of those global variables to get the generic content to say cool things about them. Oh, you opened up a world of possibility they never thought of. And it's staring them in the face, and they want to call you back and talk about it. You know, you're going to get, if you send 4 of them off to promising guys, I'll bet your phone will ring. It would be fun to get a stat on that. I'll bet if we just said you change the logo, change the phone number, put in at least one of their images for this picture, and make sure that this is their company name, and you send them this screenshot. You did this with 4 guys. Say it took you like 5 minutes each. It's 20 minutes of time invested. I'll bet one of them is going to call you back saying, I want to hear more. And this is all about, that's 95% of the way to a sale. About the time you're walking them through the rest of it, they're just interested in your upsell options. Like, I can do the website for you for this much. I can do the website, and guess what? Give you the panel that lets you control everything from now on that website. And that means that if you want to test or split test or double check or anything else, or you come out with a new page, you've got perfect control. You know what? They are way interested. No one gives that kind of power up. Every website development company wants you to have to come back to pay them $100 for any little tweak they need. Thing is, they sit there broke. In other words, they're trying to control power on the wrong thing. They're trying to hold back so that they can charge you to just change the wording in here because you want to try it again without the double quotes, you know, for all I know. Okay? Or you want to use a different picture up front. They're saying, well, that's time. We got to charge you at least $75 to do it. You know, we got to charge you for an hour. So do you want to do that and that and that? We can do that within an hour, but it's $75. And then you're like, you spend the $75 and get it done. Hopefully it works. If it doesn't, what's it going to cost me now to try it again with some other pictures, right? And this is what website development companies are hoping to make tons of money on, all those little tweaks. Reality check is what? They sit there broke very often, and they're stuck having to say you need a whole new website just to keep their mouths fed, all the people working there. Instead of trying to control that kind of power, they should average in the amount that they would be getting for the next like 5 updates, add it to the upfront cost, maybe make it a monthly, and then give them the whole power. Assume if they had all the power in the world, the average guy might make 5 changes. And just say, well, heck, man, I'll bundle it into the price, kind of mark it down a bit, stretch it into a payment plan, and then just give it to him. So I'll give him the website on the first payment, and he'll make 2 or 3 or 4 more payments, and now he's got the back end. I give him the back end with full control. And then he just pays me a service fee for support. You know, every 3 months he pays me a retainer fee just to answer questions real quick when he needs it. You get it? That's a simple and easy and cool way to go. Anyone says, well, who would buy? You've seen us do that, right? Just go to Google and look for the guys who would. Look for the guys with the crappy websites. You can start right here. Atlanta, right? Atlanta plumber, if that's what you're doing. Atlanta landscaping, Atlanta homeopaths. Man, we did homeopaths, and the first 2 we opened up looked like crap. They just look like crap. Just start opening these guys. Open, open, literally open. This is what I mean by this can go on forever as you're going through, right? That might or might not be crappy. I may or may not bother with them. This maybe I'll leave it alone. But after I go through a few of these, I'm going to find some that I just think look like garbage. And if they're on page 4, they're probably not feeling good about it anyway. And so yours looks like glass half full. By the way, does it mean they have to replace their website? No. If this guy's if he's got a good website, you might just take a few moments and send it to him just to see how he reacts. Because what if he says, hey, that's cool. Can I do a second website out of that? I want to test it out. Then the answer is, yeah, we'll put that on a new website. Just give me a different domain name to work from, right? So, yeah, I mean, it's easy to keep going with people and just keep showing them new ideas. And you can price it as low or as high as you want. It's just whatever you feel like working for by the hour. Average job might take you 3 or 4 hours, so just multiply what you're willing to work for by the hour by 3 or 4. And then if you're willing to charge more, charge more. A lot of people need to start low because they're afraid to ask for money. But after they get comfortable with their services and what they're putting out and how people are reacting, then they've got more confidence in themselves and they've got more experience. So they have every right to raise that dollar amount. And they should. They need to. Sooner or later, they should make more per hour. That's the point. Give yourself your own pay raises. Big percentages. It's the right way to go. All right, let me see. What else? We got a bunch more. All right. Thanks a lot. Yeah. Okay. As for Charlie, let's see. How many more niches are going to become available? Use these, change them. Got a mic today. Gotcha. Yeah, okay. We're going to keep putting out more. I've had people respond to my request for content developers. I put that out, and I'm going to make another point about that here because it's going to come up. Content folks, right? Here's what we need to produce a template. This is why they take a long time too. The first thing that has to happen is a design, okay? And so we get the design. Now, in order for that to happen, we have to do some fun work to the, website, themes and colors and so on, and come out with an idea for it. Then what? We have to find a new logo or build one. We have to put in new images and so now you get all these new images, okay? Then we have to decide like how many pages we should have. So we have to go look at a bunch of sites and start to pluck out content, at least generic content, from different sites and just start figuring out like how to build a 10 to 15 page site and start just pumping content in. So we go into our pages, we just start creating pages, We go to our pages and start renaming the ones that already exist. Like location will always be location probably, unless you're working on a website where it doesn't apply, so just turn it off. You don't have to delete it. There's no reason you have to lose it. If you turn it off, it no longer shows up in the menu, right? Okay? And you can put it back on when it applies. About Us will probably always apply. But then once you get to what is homeopathy, if we're doing one about law, then it won't say what is homeopathy anymore. We're going to say, why pick us for the case, And it'll be something like that. And so it'll be, right, best lawyers, right? And will be the name of the web page. And then instead of this content, I'm going to go find me a, who knows, Atlanta lawyer. I don't know why I keep using Atlanta. It's not even my favorite city or anything. Lawyer, right? Divorce attorney. I don't know. All right. So if I were to do like that, and I could get a reviews page and grab content from there. Let me just get something from someone to start with. I can spin it to make it unique, and I can take out the company name, but I want to start by getting their content. Great. This is about her. I don't need an about her exactly, but like practice areas, awesome. Divorce and separation. If that's what I'm doing, cool. I just got my content right there. Copy, come back to mine, overwrite theirs, paste. Okay, and I'm done. That's a page, and I'm just going to give it a name that makes sense. Maybe I'll even call it Divorce and Separation. Okay, now I'm not exactly done because I have to make sure that I'm not using their stuff, first of all. Okay, so I will look through it and make sure it doesn't have their names. Okay, and this is probably just a general article anyway, not talking about them, but it does at this point. Our private practice at HHCM is the effective representation. Great. HHCM is now going to become company, right? That's why we put this here. I'm going to copy the company, global variable, go here, and just paste over it. I just changed it from their stars except for one last thing I want to do. Spin rewriter, right? And I just want to make a unique variation right here on the page. That way it becomes unique. No longer theirs, it'll be mine. Is this legal? Yep. If there is an issue somewhere, the best they can do is let me know that this content is theirs. Except guess why that will never happen? Because this is generic content and I am not indexing these pages. This is only used to show that such a thing exists. Okay? Isn't that funny? I'm making this page right here in the middle of this template, but that's just because you guys already have these templates. When you get them, you already get yours. This is only here for you. Look at that. It's following my rules, H1, H2, H3. It's following my rules for the paragraph font and everything else. Can we change the font for the paragraphs on the entire website all at once? Yeah. Global settings, website themes and colors. Come down to the paragraph font. What kind of font do you want? Oh, maybe that. Size might be that after all. Maybe I want to change the print color to a different color, kind of dark, but different color. Maybe I want to make it italic, except that would be kind of weird for paragraph font, right? And yeah, bold, that doesn't make sense for a paragraph font, but I can do that. So now when I come back to here and refresh, there you go. Whole website is using the new rules now. You got it? That's how cool this is and how controllable it is. And I can still MOWG any one of these pages. Now the why pick us thing. Before I did that, what should I have done? Okay, and I'm just saying it so you guys get the idea. Before I did this work to it, what should I have done? I should have made a backup copy. Why not? That way it's just, a backup copy, right? I give it a new name. Actually, I made a backup copy of that page. Delete. To fix it now, what do? Oh, that's simple. I just go to some other page where I know the content really is the right content. Let me see. There is homeopathic.theme2HTML.com, and it'll have what is homeopathy. And so I can just put the content back in there again, right? I should have made a backup first, right? That's all I'm saying. There we go. There's that. And then what was the link? I can make it any link I want, but I may as well just make it that. So I get back to the standard. I don't know why. I'm just doing it. And then copy the content from here. Piece of cake. This is how easy it is to build websites now and to use other people's content to build their website. You get it? And if you get these bolding issues, just deal with it, Bust it off. Like I did, you just create a line break in there so you can highlight it, take it back to normal. There, I just fixed it. So this is now header 1. This is going to be my header 2. I'll break that off, just the line break, then make it a header 2. Okay? And then same thing, break it off, header 2, and break it off, header 2. And I can have this thing MOWG'd within the next 15 minutes, and then just put a little more time into it to make sure that those vars come out right. Get it? And now my website's back to normal again. Okay? Here we go. Except I really think that's a silly, bizarre font, don't you? So, I just changed that back real quick, right? To something more sensible for a paragraph font because it just didn't make any sense at all. All right. Yeah, let's just get back to something of a normal dark and get back to, better font. Okay, that'll work. Yeah, there we go. All right, there's that. Hope you guys are enjoying this, right? I mean, it's this easy to control all of it now, right? Alright, so this is above the 4 windows at the bottom. Got it. Okay, what do you think you're going to create? Okay, limit the panel. Oh, that's a good question. Hey, Jeremy, I think I'll point you out just for the fun of it, and I'll put you up because you had a question here. Jeremy Call. You've got a few, and this is a guy who's been around a long time. Hey, Jeremy, how you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah, cool. Good to see you. So, yeah, let me see. You're saying, are you going to let us limit the admin panels? What's that mean?
I was more questioning, since we're going to be, copying them over to the clients, are we going to be limiting them to that domain for them, or maybe to give them a limit on how many, websites they use it on?
Well, okay, we can't if we give them the panel, right? Because if we give them the panel, then they get the export project, and they can really make it for a lot of websites, right?
Yeah.
And they could. Now, the reality check is if we really sat down and worked on a sensible trick to this, then we could beat it. And I'll give you an example of such a trick. Okay, I thought about this. You know how we do
big setup that would just permanently set that.
Well,
that
it would screw up their ability to use it on another domain, and they would be confused why it's happening. So I'll just give you a simple example. It would be this. And this I thought was a neat idea. Before we had this bit about absolute paths with or without URL, I was thinking, I've got relative URLs in all these pages, right? And I was thinking, what in the world can I do to deal with the relative URLs that exist, where we just have an ahref tag pointing at a relative path instead of a full path, right? And I would think, what in the heck could I do about that? You know what I found I could do? I could intentionally create a global variable and call it, like, let's say, domain. Okay? I'm just going to say domain. Think MOWG for a minute. Okay? All right? Now, if I do that, okay, and let's give it a value right now. All right, I'll just call it MOWG-crew.com. Old habits die hard, right? So there is one in there now. Here's my point. If I go through my pages, go through my banner slider, everywhere where I would have a relative path, I could trick it out by putting in a full path, right? And if I trick it out by putting in a full path, the way I'm going to do it in this case is going to be to put that domain tag. Okay? And now I've got control over the domain, and they would have to understand what's going on. Then they're just back to, do they actually know how to change the URLs on all of a website and stick it on another website? If they do, they didn't need you in the first place to do that, right? And here's the point. Here's where it works in a cool way. If you don't use any value for that domain variable, if I do not use a value, it just is a hole. This is what is different about T2H. In MOWG, you cannot have a hole like that, right? If you have a var, it must have something for a value. In T2H, nope, they're optional. You can, if you're not going to use a tag for something, you can put no value in it if you want, or if it's optional. If it's just like you just don't want it to show up on some pages, but the rest of the sentence will read right anyway, you can do that. You can just take it off, take out the value and leave it blank, and it's perfectly fine. Even if you have the code in the page, that's my point. You don't have to go reword the page. Once you get the domain tokens, like, see how it says welcome to company, right? When it says welcome to company, and there's a company name, whatever it is, okay? If I go in there where the company is, and I just choose to dump that, Control X, that is okay. It would just say welcome to, and it would be blank, right? Whenever it's going to update this thing. There it is, see? And it's blank. Well, the exact same thing happens with the links and the URLs and stuff. If you've got a relative path, you could make it a full path by putting that domain, but if you have nothing in there, it's just going to be the normal relative path. Because it's either going to be this, what is this .html, because your domain is blank, or if you put in, and that's if you had, right? That's the point. If you do this, okay? So if it's blank, then on the page it's going to be like that, just the way it is now. But if it's not blank, if you have something in there, then it'll be like that.
Right.
And therefore, you can actually maintain that control better than they can. So when they export the pages, they're going to fill in. So they would have to understand how to turn this kind of a thing on or off. And you don't have to tell them. You don't even have to explain the global variable section. You can leave it kind of confusing if you want and let them have to do their own homework, or they're paying you for control. Ultimately, the greatest advantage you have is giving people control. Just price it right before you give it to them. Right?
Okay. I got one other thing. Is there a way to reset the templates, like variables and basic setup? Because I started editing things, and I realized that if I didn't have a backup, there's no way to kind of reset that.
Oh, I see. When you're talking about exactly this, right?
Yeah, the variables, and maybe if I was editing a page, like if I wiped out a page, I can't get it back because I don't have the original templates that I can just upload. So.
Yeah, that's right. We are working on something like that. We've had people, of course, people are asking because it's a good idea, where what we want is a way to save, like right here in the dashboard. We want to be able to hit a button that says Save Current Build, something like that, right? Like save everything. Save everything
or something
I did.
Will restore to original template or something.
You know,
way I can...
that's a good point. I don't see why not. I ran into that once where I found an issue with the themes. I had a theme I uploaded for everyone called Homeopathy, and then I found it wasn't operating properly, and I finally dug around and figured out how to fix the coding issue. And then after that, I said, okay, now I want to re-upload that same theme. I want to choose that same theme and install it. And I kept getting a message saying, you can, it's already installed. And I thought, aha, there's got to be a choice for deleting a theme so you can reinstall it. That would be your factory setting, by the way, right?
Right, exactly.
So we're going to create some kind of a delete theme where you can select and delete a theme. That way you can install from scratch again. But that would be the factory setting. Where we go from there, of course, is going to be the next one is save a current build. Like hit a button and everything we ever do with the pages, the banner slider, the module settings, everything on every single one of these, the images, whatever, that are there, all of the information that's involved across all of these completely separate modules, well, mainly separate modules, will follow suit and save with. Everything will work, right? That's the thing. And it is possible. It's just tricky to do right now, but that is on the agenda. We are absolutely serious about that. We should have that probably in a month and a half. You're going to be able to just save with a name, kind of the way you can do it now with website themes and colors. You can just save a style, go through and create all the color schemes you want, get all the fonts and headings you want. You go, I want to use this style as a choice. I want to offer the client this view or that view or that view. So if I'm doing a demo with them on the phone, I can say, refresh the page. Now what do you think? And you go.
Is the style actually working right now?
Huh? Yeah, it works. Down here where it says save style, just hit the checkbox, give it a name, best-red. Or red-1, like your first red option. I don't know, whatever you want to call it, right? Whatever makes sense to you. And then when you hit update and reload, it'll actually save it. And from here, you just choose whichever one you wanted, and you flip to it, load the style, and it just switched everything. Update and reload, say, yeah. And so if I go here now, it's using the new style, see? And then if I want to flip it back, I just flip it back. Red 1, load style. And I forget whether that does or if you have to hit update and reload. Okay, you have to hit update and reload, but it's no problem. Now, oh, there we go. See? So yeah, you can completely save your styles schemes right now. So if you have like 3 or 4 great looks that you like showing off, the big blue look, the best blue or the best red or the best yellow or the best who knows what, you can save all those, and that way you can actually just show a client what you're able to do for them. Just, what do you like more, this, that, or the other? And you can show them some pre-cuts. And again, don't just guess on these colors. Use a color palette tool and actually get matching colors so you get color schemes that just work. The frequency waves work best for the eye.
Right.
Yeah.
Is there a possibility of putting that save and reload up at the top as well, so that you have you don't have to scroll to the bottom every time?
That is a good point, and I did ask about that once. And I guess the question is just where's it going to fit? Like right now, the problem is our global variable button is kind of static, so that when you roll down or up, it's there, which I asked for, because there was a problem to scroll up to hit it all the time. But up here, it's overlaying the go back button, so it's kind of hard to hit that go back button. And sometimes you can't even see the go back button. And so we've got to rearrange this a little better, but we will. Because, yeah, exactly. I want the same thing you want, not to have to scroll to the bottom to hit update and reload. So, yeah, sooner or later, all these buttons will make sense up here. They'll fit. Yeah. All right.
That's all I can think.
All right, that's cool. Well, thanks a lot. And you're enjoying it so far? Is that right? Have you been playing with it?
Yeah, I've sent it out to about 20 people. I haven't talked to anyone yet, but we'll see how it works from there.
All right. And so you're setting out offering services up?
Yeah, offering services. I've actually customized each one and took a screenshot, sent it to them with a link to a demo.
No kidding. Oh, that's
Yep.
so cool. So yeah, do you know if anyone's like clicking to see the demo at all? Have you got like visitor tracking code in your demo pages?
I didn't think about that when I was doing it. I was just kind of rushing through it and say, hey, this is cool. I send them out and see what happened. But
All right, yeah. The other one's getting the message right, in a way that works. It's so tough figuring out a message that gets through, right? So it doesn't look like spam. But that just comes with practice, right?
I figure I'm just email them, then call them a few days later and see, hey, I sent you this. So.
Yeah, that's a good way to go too. And you're right, because that just gets right over the top of the spam bucket. Once you're calling, then you're actually talking about them, especially when you've got that image ready to show them again, or you got the demo ready to show them. And the cool thing about being able to save the builds, and we think that's interesting, of course, is if you can save the builds, you can do them for everything. Bob's Fishing Company, Bangor Rehabilitation Center, and you just switch between the builds you saved, And that way, if you get a guy who's like, yeah, I'm Bangor Rehabilitation Center, you sent us this thing last time. You said call you for a demo. You could be saying, oh, yeah, sure. Have you got access to a computer? I want you to go to this link. And while you're telling them, you're switching to that theme, that build in the back end. So it brings up all of Bangor Rehabilitation Center stuff, and everything suddenly looks like that. And you're doing it with the separate demo pages. I take it that you're exporting to some kind of a view.
But I'm just using my own host and just loading them into a subdirectory.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I can't wait. I mean, keep me in the loop. I'd love to hear more. Like when you start to connect with the clients, what it is that you're noticing is helping you, what pitch you're using or how you're identifying the right kind of client to answer. And I think the biggest challenge you probably got, that's my guess, is that you're trying to get over the look of spam, right? Because people are always saying, I can make a better website for you. They're always saying, we have great SEO services, and you want not to look like that.
Yeah, it's hard to kind of get past that. So I'm just trying a few different ways.
Maybe curiosity in the subject line is going to be the best way to get it open instead of an offer. It's more like, again, the best thing I ever did with MOWG as far as getting a pitch, it took forever to figure it out. But my subject line wound up being exactly what
Right.
Does 60,000 web pages, just an open-ended question, equals 60,000 visitors per month? Right? And so you kind of like want to open the mail because it's interesting, simply interesting. And then it goes from there and continues the theme. If you have a 5-page website, you probably get 5 visitors a month. If you have a 20-page website, you probably get 20 visitors a month. And that's it. And there's a lot of thought that goes into getting a subject line and the beginning of the body to keep working forward from the subject line. It's like once you get them curious about this and they open it, what's the first thing they see next? What's the very next thing they read? And the next thing they read. And you draw them into the direction you want them to think. Because, when they sat down to eat their apple, they weren't thinking this question. And so you have to somehow get them from, wow, interesting, to actually helping them see their way to it, And that is cool. It takes a while to get a message right. And you put out a bunch of crap until you get it right. But then once you get it right, it works, and everything else works because you've got everything else nailed down. And that's just, that's a good feeling.
Right.
All right. I'll let you get back to that and keep going with this. Thanks a lot for the feedback. It's been cool.
Sure, no problem.
All right. Okay, let me see. Oh, by the way, one more thing, Jeremy. If you want, you can send me your pitch, just sheer curiosity, or your pitches. I don't know what you're using, but if you feel like it, you can send me a copy just so I can tell you what my impression is of it and just give you whatever feedback I give you for whatever it's worth to you. All right, let me see. When you right, let me. Someone their own login, all right. We have a master reset. If we give someone their own login or cPanel, can we have a master reset? In other words, if they change a password, we can use master login to reset their password, lock them out. No. The assumption is once you give them their panel, that's about it. There is another way to go about that, though. And Charles, just let me know if you're still there, because I'm answering, your questions again. And in the meantime, for everyone else, what do you think the difference would be? The answer would be this. Right now, okay, we haven't gotten the deployable done. So all you guys who have access to this right now, can I completely stop your access? Yeah. How could I do it? Well, you're assigned a subdomain. I just rename your subdomain. You have no idea where to go. That would be one way. Or I could just delete your installation, ... Of course, I'm not gonna. But what's the point? The point is, if you were a paying client and I'm hosting you on my site, and again, this is only temporary until we get the deployable finished. It's soon. But if you're on my site, then I have complete control over your admin panel. Now, if you zip up projects and send them off, then yeah, you got them, you keep them, but you don't have the admin panel to edit them. Okay? But if you want your website just to be here and you're intentionally turning on indexing right here, Google and other crawlers can index pages, yes, update, right? And I don't want that. Okay? So just get off. But you did, and you intentionally are making this indexable and work, right? Whatever it is for this client, and then you have another one for another client, another for another client, another for another client. You can give them access, and they can go in, they can even change the password, and they can deal with their stuff. But it's on your server. And if they ever quit paying, you can go into their subdomain and rename it. Should you suddenly delete someone's work when they quit paying? No. Give them some time. Turn it off. Make sure they knew what was going on. Maybe they kind of got that selective blindness to your emails coming in, whatever kind of notes you were giving them, and they just didn't catch on that they had to read yours because, hey, they owed you the next payment or whatever, who knows. And so very, very often it's easy to misunderstand. I started a routine a long time ago when people quit renting MOWG. Maybe they go like 8 payments in, and then suddenly they cancel. And I'd say, oh, that's interesting. In the beginning, I always thought, oh, he got 8 months in, didn't want to keep it up. That's too bad. Or I guess he just is tight on cash, and he should use MOWG to make himself some cash, sell some services. But a lot of people just don't think that way when they get panicky. They just think, what do I do now? You know, I got to kill the expenses, and then they just stop the expenses. They can't. Okay, but you know what I did? After a while, I said, I should check. And so I created just a simple little fair form letter. And so if somebody canceled, I'd shoot it to them. Hi, I noticed your cancellation. That's perfectly fine, but you have paid this far in. Don't want you to lose your credit. Would you mind telling me why you quit it? And if you can get back on within the next month, you can maintain your credits. Here's the line, you know. And you know what I found? 90% of the time, 9 out of 10 times when people canceled, they just quietly canceled because they were kind of embarrassed that they were tight on cash. They didn't cancel because they didn't like the product after paying 8 months in. Okay, they canceled because they couldn't afford the payment, and they were afraid to ask me for an extension. They just, you know, were a little embarrassed about it. So what I did was precede that by sending them an email offering them an extension and just asking what's going on. And usually I was just hearing, I was tight, but thanks, that's really helpful. I should be able to get back on next month. Thanks, Dave. It's like, oh, that's cool. You know, I can work with cases like that. That's fine. I expect somebody to blow their tire and have to get a new set of tires and they weren't prepared for it. You know, that's not surprising. All right, here we go. All right, when entering text in the box, only edit, how can we make the font black instead of gray? It's hard to see the gray text when typing. Okay, let me see if I get this right. If you go into the pages, what am I, logged out? Oh, here. If you go into the pages, this is supposed to be black and white. This is not supposed to be the normal stuff that we use on our website. Okay? It's supposed to be black and white. Can I actually change the color of these pages? Yeah, but if I do that, I include color commands, right? I could use this and change the color to something, you know, whatever it is I want the color to be, right? I could do that, so I can make it like this. Okay, I can do that. I can underline it, you know, or whatever. Heck, you can strike through it. If you're doing limited time only, the price is not this but that. There's a strike through, right? So you could turn off underlining and turn on strike through, and it would work, right? Okay. But the fact of the matter is that if you do that, then when we flip our source, what do we see? We started an H1 tag, and we end it here. But in the meantime, inside of there, we included an underline, and we included a very specific span code that says the style for the color is this. And so we are literally saying this overrides the H1 tag. So now the problem with that, of course, if I update and reload, or just update even, if I go look here, flip it, let me see what page. Okay, principles background. Okay. It's changed here. Now, if I don't want it changed there, I've got to deal with it. Like in this case, I might just go back into the source and see why it's off. Well, it's supposed to be an H1 tag. Aha, there's more coding. I need to get rid of the coding to get back to the H1 tag. I see. And you kill the extra coding. Okay. And that looks right. Update and reload. Go here. And that looks right. Okay. So, yeah, you can change the color to deal with it. But if you do, realize you've got all those color commands that you have to get rid of later. Okay. But if you want to try to change a paragraph at once or something like that, try it. Give it a crack. Okay. Then you can go deal with it, and when you're done, change it back to black. And if it's tough to change back to black, that just means you've got layers of coding in there. See, it doesn't wanna. So, yep, I gotta go here and just kill the code from here, you know. Or what's another way to do it? Just copy it in the notepad and then delete the paragraph and then paste it back in, right? Because that way you paste it in as text. And you can just make it a paragraph font, right? So whenever this comes back out of the code, yeah. There we go. Okay. There you go. All right. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, let me see. Jeremy, just for the fun of it. Hey, Jeremy, Gall. Do you mind if I show the demo that you were showing? Because I was thinking about going to it to take a look. Or is that...
Fine. It's not really much changed on it. I added their logo and their info on it, so if you go look at their variables, they're all edited custom.
Okay. Gall, is that right? .com.
Yep.
And then plumbing. Oh, I see. So you did this for each of those subsections, right? For whatever it was you wanted to do. I see. That's very cool.
And I actually have, like if you just do / I think it was Jerry's Plumbing, with capital J, capital P, it'll actually give you the custom one.
Oh, which one now? You're saying right here on the extension or at the beginning?
At the end where plumbing is instead.
Oh, I see. So inside the plumbing folder, you say you have a custom one inside the plumbing folder.
No, no, replacing plumbing. Just Jerry's Plumbing, capital J, capital P.
Oh, I see what you're doing. Okay, I get it now.
I made a generic one in case I call somebody and they didn't even see it.
Oh, I see. Yeah, exactly. No, I get it. Yeah. It'll be interesting getting this stuff going, and because, I mean, the concept is simple. I've talked to people face-to-face, and the whole companies are willing to sit down, and their biggest question is they'll turn to whoever they wanted to make in charge of this. Oh, I see. You didn't do a lot with it per se. You're just helping, the simple things that help, right? Like their logo, their phone number, their city, their state, and since, whenever they started working, if you include that, right?
Just enough to show that I can put it together real quick. It takes me like 2 to 5 minutes for each one.
Oh, heck yeah. That's awesome. That's a great way to get a presentation up, soon enough to make the point. Yeah, well, there you go. And then you can try different styles. Like I said, you can save those styles, the website theme and color styles, so you can try some different templates too. But your question about whether people are reacting is going to start with make sure you get some visitor tracking code into this thing. If you don't have it, go put it in.
I didn't think about first create.
Yeah, add some, like there is stack counter coding. It's probably mine, which is in the block that originally went out. But yeah, I mean,
I couldn't
put in some.
I thought.
Okay, yeah, and when you put in your own instead, yeah, then you can see if people are coming to it, and and that way, if they're still not reacting, then they're not so impressed. So what do? Try another color scheme, right?
Right.
Yeah, there you go. And you'll find something that just has a better reaction with the people. And frankly, I don't think that it's a color scheme issue anyway. I think that you're just not getting enough people to the page physically yet. So probably your message just, you'll want to work on the subject line more, maybe the body more. It's always fun to open up your message the next day and say, what's wrong with my message, right?
Well, I'm kind of looking at making a master sales page for it and then MOWGing that out. So.
Oh, there you go. That's also a good idea. Yeah, there's lots of ways to go now that we've got this much ability. I mean, it's just fascinating to people, right? All the possibilities, and that's just it. Now you can line them up. Charge this price. If you want that also, I'll throw that in for that price. And if you want that also, I'll throw that in for that price. And you can just decide how you want to line up your services, and you can go big, small, sideways, guy after guy after guy. And that's cool. There's no reason why you can't get that to work. All right, great. Anyone have any other questions real quick? I can toss up your stuff. I think I got to the bottom of this list so far. Don't know if anyone else has any other questions. I can cancel, or well, stop out of the recording if they don't, and wish you guys well. All right, and no, I'm going to take it now unless somebody's typing full speed. All right, well, thanks a lot for coming and everything. Get up into the game and realize where we're going, because it's just getting cooler and cooler now. And really, I mean, as soon as we get done with all the stuff that we're doing with the development side, I'm going to be able to help you guys a lot with the marketing side. Until then, it's kind of more in your own hands, because, you know, we're working on all the development stuff, right? And that was good. Yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah, a lot of you guys are saying that. This is a lot of fun, and that's what I like to hear. I mean, MOWG used to be hard, right? It used to be hard. Where can you download the new toolbar? Jelani's asking. If you didn't catch, here's where it is: MOWG-crew.com/toolbars. Okay, and it's not the whole toolbar you're trying to download. You're downloading the source workbook.xls. Okay, and if you click on it, it'll download to your computer, and then you just got to put it somewhere. So where you got to put it? I'll first find it wherever you downloaded it to. Then you can go ahead and cut it. And you're going to paste it where? In your MOWG Toolbar 17 folder. So where is that? Well, in my case, if I go to my computer, C drive, program files x86, I got a folder in there called MOWG Toolbar V17. I go in there. And there's my old source workbook. So I can paste and overwrite. And that's the new source workbook. If you need to save the source workbook you had before, give it a new name. Or, you know, when you paste in here, paste but keep both copies, and then give one of them a different name. That way you can switch them back and forth. It's just whenever you're using it, okay, whenever I go in here and I'm working on a project, okay, and I open it, whenever I hit either Universal Fixes or Replace Editor, or by extension, whenever the toolbar is going through its functions and it's doing these, like if I hit Import Web Page and I fill it in and hit OK, it's going to run that, and it's going to immediately run Universal Fixes automatically. Okay, but whenever that thing is run or the Replace Editor is run, it is running from whatever the source workbook is, worksheet, whatever file that is. Make sure I get the right name. Been a while since I've done that one. Yeah, source workbook.xls with a capital S and a capital W, no space in the name, just source workbook.xls. It is going to look that one up. So if you have a different one, just switch the names. I can rename this thing to source workbook-old for now, or dash T2H, you know, and name the other one source workbook dash, I don't know, custom. MOWG, whatever you call it, okay? And then I can just take whichever copy of that I want at the moment and paste it and give it the right name. Rename source workbook.xls. It's going to be what I want this to be for the time I'm using it. And then when I'm done and I want to use the other one, I'll delete that one. And I'll make a copy of the other one, the one from the T2H, right? Wherever it is, copy, paste, or new, I'm calling mine, rename. Or actually make a copy of it and then rename it, right? That way you never lose the originals. This is what I mean by make the copies, so that you don't lose the originals. Rename. All right. So there's that idea. You can just double check it, you know, add, edit, make sure it's the one you wanted. Oh, no, it's not. It's not the one I wanted, you know. So just go get the right one. And again, you don't have to go back and get it like I'm doing right now, just to kind of like do it again. If you keep your copy, right? Don't lose your copy. Okay. MOWG toolbar V17 shortcut, paste, overwrite, and I'm good to go. Okay. All right, guys. Well, thanks a lot for coming. I hope you guys found this interesting. I think you are. Setting up a form for the Theme2HTML as well. Oh, that's a very good point. Haven't even thought about it, a form for Theme2HTML, but I see no reason why not. That's a very good idea. Keep that on the list. Remind me later, because that's a very good point. I should do that, and I should do it even sooner rather than later. And that way it'll be easier to keep track of things like wish lists. We could put it into a forum. Other people could interact, and people could talk about it. That would be a good idea. Yeah, thanks. That's a good idea. And so remind me if I forget about it. I'm going to try to get on one of my to-do lists, right? T2H forum. All right. Good point. All right. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks a lot. And yeah, I got all recorded. I'm going to be able to make this into a webinar recording put out. It's going to be long. But I'm glad you guys came. And yeah, thanks for all the feedback and the interest and stuff. I think this is cool. And I think for many of you who are thinking MOWG was a pain in the neck, now you can see how to use it much more easily, and it's understandable, and you can see how to work with this stuff a lot better than before. So yeah, keep hanging in there, and you'll keep watching new power, and new interesting things keep arising. We're getting better at this. Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you guys later. And yeah, have a good night. Enjoy the Olympics too. Don't forget about those. That's going on, and that's cool.